I'm tan, I'm rested, and it's time to give this town a wedgie again.
Let's dance, bozo.
What's happening, everybody? Yes, it's Saturday. Yes, it is DC Fan-imated time. Yes, we are talking Return of the Joker. What is happening, everyone? This will be an interesting conversation because there are two different versions of this movie.
Yes, there are two different versions of this movie, and oh my goodness, do my notes reflect that?
Yes.
I made sure to give very specific notes because I watched both versions of the movie. I watched the censored cut that came out, did that in yesterday, and then I watched the uncut version today. And I just made sure in my notes that I took very, very specific notes because it's like you kind of remember what all the differences are.
Yeah.
But when you actually sit down and watch them like back to back, and you're like,
you see it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely see it.
So I'll wait till we actually get rolling into the show to start talking about all the different details about it. But
let me adjust my cam a little too bright.
You're blowing out a little bit right there.
Oops, not that one. Hold on. Let me go ahead and turn it down. Turn that ISO down just a little. There you go. That's better. Yeah, because I was like, wait, I'm wearing a white shirt and I got white screens flashing on me, so I'm like, yeah, I think it'll be good. If it gets dark, because yes, I have some sun beats on that window right there. If it gets too dark, I'll just adjust it again. But right now, I was like radiating.
Oh, I see. So you fell in the vat of acid, got your skin bleached, and decided to become a supervillain. Okay.
See,
so many good lines in this movie.
Oh, there's
so many good lines in this movie.
Oh yeah, in like a lot of the good lines, I put in capital letters in my fucking notes.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, there's just so many good lines. But good to see everybody. We got Max Wolf Danger. This Batman Beyond movie was my favorite, and it sucks that we didn't get sequel. They didn't tell us what happened to the original villain in the series. 10 out of 10 this movie. And we got Mr. Venom. Good to see you. You know, I was surprised that Terry didn't do his homework on who the Joker is during this movie.
Oh, I have some theories about that one actually.
Okay.
So
not a watch along. I mean, we could have made it a watch along, but that would have been a little too difficult. But yeah, we're just discussing. We'll have
when you can on
you can't talk.
Yeah, like you're too busy watching the movie. You're talking over the good parts.
Yes.
And well, I mean, with YouTube, you can't actually like show it because of copyright. So yeah,
unless there was a way to just watch it like where we couldn't get copyright if there was something like that. And yeah, Eric, I know it is on YouTube that you can watch for free, but it's like I think it's the censored version.
Is it really the censored version?
I think so. I think he finds out that it was like that one. I don't know. But I don't know. I just, like I said, you can rent it on Amazon
everywhere
for $4. I had some points, so I was like, whatever. Didn't matter to me.
I own it, you know.
Yeah, you own it, so you got.
Well, and as I pointed out on the last stream, I even own. This is the original DVD that was released on December 12th, 2000. I'm trying to remember if I drove to Walmart or Sam's to pick this up, but this was a day one purchase. It's 2000 because it's the old school.
I remember the clip. Yeah,
the little clip thing going.
Mm-hmm.
This is the original release that ended up being the censored cut. However, I finally questioned something today, and it's really awesome.
What?
On the back, on the runtime, this case from 2000 says that this movie is 76 minutes. That's a lie.
Oh, they lied.
It's left over from the original. The PG-13 original cut is 76 minutes. The censored version is only 73 minutes. There's a 3-minute time difference. I was watching the uncut version today going, wait a minute, how can these two have the same runtime when there's clearly so much more cut out?
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out that for 26 years, I believed the packaging saying it was 76 minutes. And no, it's the uncut version at 76 minutes, and it's the censored version is 73 minutes. And it's just it basically no one bothered to check the package art because they censored it in the relative frame of production, it
Mhm.
censored at the last minute.
Gotcha.
No chance to fix the.
Yeah, they didn't look at that little detail. They're like, nobody's going to notice. Little did they know that a couple of 40-year-old men were going to be doing a stream that we're going to be talking about that shit, and we're going to point it out.
Oh
Ha!
yeah.
Ha! Braden, good to see you. When you think about it, Bruce Tim predicted Jason Todd coming. Well, I mean, and Phil, not really, since this was Tim. Yeah.
But Tim with Jason's backstory. But they totally were playing on doing kind of their this was totally their version of Death of the Family.
Yeah, for sure. Clone Avenger, good to see you. Love this movie. I even like the Wayne Static.
Oh no! Oh, I was gonna. Oh,
yeah,
dude, Clone Avenger, you blew it. So that was
jumping ahead.
No, I was going to. This was going to be a whole point. I was going to make in our discussion. Move along. Dave, pay no attention. We'll get to that Clone Avenger.
The fans hated him. Yeah, I know there was like that whole thing, but anyways, but yeah, good to see you, Phil. Hot take. I think this is a better Batman movie than. Ooh.
Oh, okay. I can't go there personally, but this is my number 2. Like it's like. I get it. I really do get. There is so much to love about this movie. So I'm not going to. The thing about Phil's opinion right here is that I'm not going to like trash him for the opinion. Like it's a solid opinion. Like these two are really great Batman movies.
They're great Batman movies. Yeah. It's because it's funny though, because a lot of people talk about Mask of the Phantasm. A lot of people don't talk about this movie for sure. I mean, even me, like I said, it wasn't one. I watched Mask of the Phantasm so many times, and like I said, I watched this when it first came out, and then I remember watching it again, but I don't think I was paying too much attention because I think we had a group there and we were all just kind of, drinking and shit. So yeah, I really applaud how they found a somewhat believable way to bring back the Joker and then made their own version. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Mr. Bauga. It's like what Scott was saying. So. Yeah, good times. And
I like how they made it even more believable as the animated universe went on. Like story stuff that they did later. Like I'll bring it up when we get to that point, but like there's some stuff that comes later in the universe that you can retcon it to fit with this movie. So I'll come back to that.
Yeah. Man, Twitter messed it up. Anyways, sorry. I was just looking at making sure that it broadcast on Twitter, but it didn't broadcast right. So that sucks. But anyways, yeah, guys, this is what we're talking about tonight. So sit back and we're going to talk
so many notes. So many notes.
Which I'm anxious to hear what you got to say about this. I mean, obviously, anytime when we talk about a movie, it's always kind of cool, like especially when you watch when you're watching a series consistently, and then when they do a movie version, you always go, oh yeah, you get that updated animation. You get that because they have the bigger budget, so of course they have to make things look snazzier.
Well, okay, so let's talk.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and jump into. Okay, so it took them 2 years to make this movie.
Okay,
pre-production for this movie started about January of 1998. It was like because it was after they'd already completed season 1, and so this movie was getting made while they were also making season 2 of the show. And so the part of the reason the animation is so like this is beautiful animation. This movie looks great, especially when you watch it now in the HD remaster with the digital, with all the digital coloring and painting that they do. Oh, watching this on Blu-ray quality, like this movie pops.
Yeah.
Because what they did, the reason they were able to do this movie while also producing the second season of the show was they were able to hand this off to TMS. Now, we've mentioned TMS before because TMS was a Japanese animation studio that has done a lot of the. Any of the episodes we've talked about where the animation just looked absolutely gorgeous, that was TMS. The last big things they did is they're responsible for the world's finest 3-parter.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I think that's when we mentioned them last, right?
Probably that was the last time that we mentioned them, because that was the last time that the animation really did this. So there's things like they pioneered the idea of like they had started doing the digital painting of like the characters, but
Mhm.
TMS pioneered the idea of also digitally painting the backgrounds.
Ooh, okay.
So
That's
what they would normally have done is they would have painted the backgrounds by hand, scanned the backgrounds into a computer, and then layered the animation on top of it. And during the production of this movie, TMS pioneered the idea of also digitally doing the backgrounds as well. Everything's still hand drawn, but we're just talking about the painting and the color, which was really funny because I listened to the commentary track that's included on the censored version. Now, both versions of the movie have a commentary track with Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Glenn Murakami, and Kurt Gaeta, which is funny though, but they're two separate commentary tracks because they had to go back at when the movie got censored. They had to go back and re-record the commentary track so their commentary track would match that version of the movie.
makes sense.
So it is legitimately two different recording sessions
Really?
for the
Okay.
commentary track. It wasn't like they just edited the commentary track. No, they recorded the commentary track for the original PG-13 version, then had to sit back down and re-record it again. So you could actually get different stories listening to the two different commentary tracks.
Interesting. So there you go.
I know.
Okay.
So it was really interesting. So they really just they were able to just hand this off to TMS, and
Mhm.
TMS was basically just doing this on their own while they were working with the other studios to continue producing the series.
Gotcha.
Because Home Entertainment came to them and said, season 1's a hit. We want to do a movie.
Yeah.
And they budgeted them for a 70-minute movie. So one of the other fun stories before we get started, because this is going to lead into a discussion. Someone on X reached out to me and was wondering about deleted scenes. They storyboarded this entire movie and it came back 14 minutes too long because they were only given basically, that's what happens with home video. They say, here's your budget, which means this is your runtime.
Yeah.
And so they gave them 70 minutes, it ended up being 76. But when they timed out the storyboards, it came out 14 minutes too long. So there are there's at least 3 sequences that are cut out of this film, along with other trims, because they had to knock out 14 minutes of this movie.
Interesting. Is there, and there's probably, I mean, obviously, there's probably like some behind the scenes on the Blu-ray that shows some
you
of that
do
stuff?
okay. The one scene that everyone talks, there is a scene where they actually do an animatic. They don't do an animatic, but they kind of
show,
but they show the storyboards.
Yeah.
Because I think they even did some sound recording for it,
Okay.
and it's included. There is a published screenplay for this movie because it was written by Paul Dini. And we'll talk about it when we get to there. But like that's the only scene that's the deleted scene everyone thinks about, because it's the one that, even like you said, a special feature, you can watch them like step you through the storyboard of the scene. And like all the scenes that get cut, it's not that because it wasn't good. It was literally the decision of, we have to cut 14 minutes. This doesn't further the plot.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. So you could probably find some of that online, right? You could probably find some of the behind the scenes, maybe.
Well,
Probably.
it's in the comment. They describe all of it in the comment. Like they'll tell you what the deleted scenes are if you listen to the commentary track.
Okay.
I guess this is also a good time before we get started, like walking through the movie, though.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna kind of ask you, just kind of like test your brain here. I know that's dangerous, but gotta give you shit. So why do you think there's a censored version of this movie?
Why do I think there's a censored version?
Yep.
Well, it's because there's people there's killings that happen.
Well, there's killings in both versions.
Okay, because I can't compare, but I don't know, because there's a child that gets kind of tortured at one point. Is that
Columbine?
Oh,
Columbine happened in
it came
April of
out during that
1999.
time. Holy shit.
Yeah. And I know that at the time, I know Hillary Clinton was running a committee in the Senate because she was a senator from New York at the time. And there was kind of a combined witch hunt going on about, everyone was finding something to blame. And
That's right. Yeah, during that time, of course.
everything was everything else. Like there's always like these ideas of it was video games, it's cartoon. So basically, Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers Animation, that's why suddenly, they got. I mean, we made fun of standards and practices, but it got really crazy after that. So that's why they went in. And I mean, there's lines of dialogue that got re-recorded. There are newly animated sequences to replace sequences that are in this movie between the censored version and the uncut version. And then there are just some, once you've seen the uncut version, there's some really weird edits to cut stuff out of the original version of this movie. So, like I said, it's going to be really interesting to kind of like point some of that stuff out, because you could see why they made the cuts that they did, but it was such a last minute, like I said, to point out the fact that they didn't even have time to change the runtime on the box, because it was so last minute to edit, because clearly they approved the script, they approved the animation, they had a finished version of the movie, and then they went back at the last minute. I know this doesn't sound like Warner Brothers at all, does it?
What? They never do shit like this.
They never do crap like that.
Yeah.
And they went back and they and they still, like you said, ultimately cut 3 minutes out of this movie. So it's
3 minutes. I mean, it's funny too, because it probably was like a struggle to try to figure out like what to do, and they probably were like, "Is this good enough? No, try again. Is this good enough?" It's like probably like that whole thing.
Well, they probably was just like going to the MPA board. Like they probably said this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, this line of dialogue. Like they probably
and then they probably were trying to do as little as possible to just like, just kind of snip. And then,
and that's what I'm saying. You go back and you compare the two, and if you watch the censored version, there's some weird snips. Like there's some thing, like I found goofs I had never seen before.
That's
because
funny.
this was my first time watching the censored cut since the uncut version came out. So I was able to compare. Oh, that's what's missing there. Like there's the frames that are missing there and that kind of thing. So it was
interesting. Well,
yeah.
that's good. That's a good little backstory when it comes to all this, because like I said, it just seems like when it comes to all anything like this, there's always going to be some kind of struggle. And then I didn't even think about the time of Columbine that this came out.
Yeah, because the original
everything was on edge.
Yeah, the censored version came out in December of 2000, and they eventually released the uncut version April of 2002. And I remember like there was no fanfare for the uncut version getting, like they just dropped it. Like it was just like,
here you go.
And I remember just going, what the, I think I found it on Amazon, or I don't even remember how I found out, but it just like popped up and I was just like, oh hell, we're getting the version, because you heard like there was always like those there were those nerd rumblings of this isn't the actual version of the movie. Like there's
something else out there.
There's something else out there. And I don't know exactly, I wasn't as plugged into the internet in that period of time, but I heard things and knew there was another version of the movie. But then, less than like basically a year and a half later, like they were worried long enough. Basically, they worried long enough until the show was no longer on the air. And then they just dropped the movie.
Interesting. Well, there you go. It's I mean, it's weird when all that kind of stuff happens, but hey, we're glad that we have an uncut version.
Yes, because it is a much better paced, much flowing version.
Always is.
We joke about like how 30 minutes affects a movie. This is interesting to go 3 minutes makes a difference.
See, I'm kind of curious now. I'm like, man, I wish I could have watched both too, just to see.
Oh, I'll point out.
You're gonna point out, right?
I'll point it out for you. I'll tell you what the differences are.
Yeah, and then it's so. I mean, like, just like getting started with the story. I mean, we got. When was the last time we saw the Joker, like a Joker gang?
A Joker gang was probably
been a bit, huh?
It's been a bit.
It hasn't been. Was there one on season 2?
There hasn't been one. We have not seen Jokers in season
right?
3. I feel like the last time we dealt with the Jokers was like Joyride in season 2.
That one, yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that because we've been dealing with other things. Yeah. So getting this new Jokers gang, and it's completely new characters.
Yeah, it's nobody we've seen before. And yeah, I mean, we got like a fucking dead man looking dude.
Okay, so that's Ghoul.
Yeah, that's Ghoul. Okay,
Ghoul. Yeah.
And then
you mean Dead Man is in the character?
Yeah, he looks like kind of like Dead Man because he's like bald and white.
Okay, that's Bonk.
Yeah, it's Bonk. Yeah, it's like Bonk. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got a scarecrow looking dude.
That's Ghoul.
And then we got 2 Harley Quinn looking.
That's Dee Dee.
Yeah. And it's funny too because I mean, sadly, this time it's a movie, so they show the
credits.
Yes. So it's like, oh, I know who's in here. And then I hear the voices and
then you just start matching it up.
Yeah, you start matching the voices. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Henry Rollins.
Yes.
And Michael, hey, guess what? Our good buddy Michael Rosenbaum is also there. He's Ghoul. And then
did you hear what he's doing with Ghoul?
He kind of sounds like a Walken.
It's intentionally his Walken impersonation.
Oh, yeah, yes. I didn't catch that until towards the end when he just kind of really goes for it. I was like, wow, like he really is going for that Walken.
No, they actually told him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because he was goofing around in the recording booth for other times he worked with them, and he would do a Walken. So when they did this role, they said, "No, we want you to do your Walken for this character."
Yeah, yes. I know. I was like, I didn't catch on to it until towards the third act. I'm like, man, he's really pushing that Walken voice right there. Then we got Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina.
Yep.
Sabrina
as Dee Dee, yes.
Yeah, she's Dee Dee. And then when we get later on, there's a very familiar voice too. I'm totally blanking on his name right now, but obviously if you know the guy.
Yeah, but we still have 2 more Jokers though to talk about because you got
Mark Hamill.
Well, not that one.
Okay.
Dumbass. You got Chucko.
Yeah.
He's the one wearing the clown mask.
Yes, the clown mask, and he's I forgot who he was. Shit.
Yeah, not someone I recognize.
Yeah, right.
And then you got Wolf, the Splicer.
Yeah. Yes,
and that's Frank Welker.
Like a hyena. He's like
he's the Splicer with hyena DNA.
Yeah.
So, which was funny because the guys give Paul Dini such shit for the hyena, like because he was the one who gave. He came up with Bud and Lou for Joker and Harley. So then it was his idea to make the Splicer a hyena boy. And they just listen to the guys go, "Oh, Paul, really? Again?
Hyena?
Hyena."
I know. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the first characters that we see too.
Yes, which is interesting.
Because he's just totally attacking like these guards at, of course, like this factory. And it's like right off the bat, it's like, oh yeah, that's the first character we see is like this splicer hyena. And of course, obviously, alluding to the whole, the 2 hyenas from for Harley. So
yeah. So already this entire opening sequence, this especially the fight inside of the building. Seriously cut down in the censored version.
Right off the bat, huh?
Right off the bat. And you feel it too when you're watching the censored version. Like it just moves too fast. But the music really, because let's talk about the music. Christopher Carter, which I'm glad I have the CD because you cannot. This is not streaming on any music service. You cannot get this soundtrack. Oh, wow. So once again, physical media is king because you get this great soundtrack by Christopher Carter. But the fighting, because there's so, if you go back and you really pay attention to the uncut version, there's so much like connecting. Like you see punches land and they
goes with it.
And the music that goes with it. Yeah. And they really chop up this, like from the get-go. This first fight scene gets really cut down because they they shortened the fight, and then also made sure they really cut down on how much connections you see with like punches and kicks and that kind of thing.
They were like even worried about that. Like it's too violent. Too violent.
They were even worried about it's too violent.
It's crazy. It's
just... and I'm going to talk about lines they changed because the lines were too violent or too mature.
Yeah, I mean, well, we have that opening line from Terry where he says, "It's a school night, boys and girls. I'm going to have to call your folks."
You know? I know.
But I was like, they probably didn't cut that one down.
No, not that. But it's really interesting because it's a cold open. You know, it's an opening thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious. So does that evoke anything for you? The idea of like, here's a cold open action sequence before we get the opening credits?
No. Okay. Like, what do you mean?
It's intentionally a James Bond homage.
Oh, okay. Because that's how they always do it, where it's like you always get the cold open. That's how they hook you, and then all of a sudden you get. I mean, same thing with like Mission Impossible. You always get the cold open, and then
you always get the cold open, right?
And you get that.
So this was intentionally done as an homage, not only to James Bond, but with the editing and the pacing. Bruce Timm and Paul Dini's, well, as of the time of this movie being made, their favorite James Bond movie was On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay.
So this opening sequence was cut and edited to like, if you go back and watch the cold open for On Her Majesty's Secret Service, they were intentionally trying to get that feel. I hinted at this like a year ago when we talked about the Royal Flush Gang, because who was the voice of King? George Lazenby, who was the James Bond in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So I've been kind of like teasing this fact. I've been teasing this fact ridiculous. For a while now.
It's fucking ridiculous, hell. It would all ties together.
It all ties together. Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good opening sequence. Obviously, there's like, you got Terry taking on this new Joker gang, and you kind of get the roles of this new Joker gang.
Yes.
Bonk. He's
think of it like you bonk.
Yeah, Bonk.
Yeah, bonk him on the head.
He is just like a blunt object.
He is, yes,
enforcer. Yes. And then you got the two twins. And they are, of course, I mean, they even fool him and like they're like holding on to each other like they're scared. And then he gets distracted, and then all of a sudden they pull out a stun gun and start zapping him like crazy. They're essentially, and they're the Harley Quinns of the group. Which
I wonder why.
Why is that? But so we get that, and of course you get the hyena dude. What was his name? I don't think I caught his name. Wolf. That's right. And and then you get Ghoul, and then so you're kind of getting like all the we got this new gang, and then. I mean, this whole opening sequence goes crazy. There's a really awesome shot, like when they leave. I mean, obviously they're there to get something, and of course they're making comments about why are we doing stuff like this? Because it's just a lot easier to get cash cards as opposed to trying to freaking
steal entire technology.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just a pain in the ass. And of course they get into these vehicles that.
Forklifts, basically,
kind of like looking, like industrial vehicles. And then there's like a cool shot of Terry just like once he just like dives down.
Oh, dude, that is such a great shot.
Such a great shot. And then wings come out, and then all of a sudden it's Gotham skyline, and he's going after him. I was like, I wrote that down.
And when we're talking about Christopher Carter's score, it was at Christopher, because in the creator's mind of making this movie, meant to be a bridge between the original series and Batman Beyond. So Christopher Carter intentionally musically went to Bruce Timm and said, I want orchestra.
Yeah.
Like
I hear it.
Yeah. You like it's this beautiful,
it's not just guitar and
exactly. But he also doesn't do just the electronic stuff or just the orchestra stuff. He is throughout this movie.
So much blending of it. It's
so much blending. Good. So like even when Terry like jumps down the tube and does the really cool like flying shot, it's like you hear the horns playing, but you still get the guitar like down.
Yeah, you're hearing that, which is great. And yeah, so there's like this whole kind of chase sequence thing that's happening. One of the twins falls out of the thing, and then Terry being Terry, obviously it's like she's falling. He tries to get her, and then the other twin's trying to get her in her like little vehicle that she's driving. It's pretty intense. It's a pretty intense chase sequence, and then of course you got Bonk where he's getting choked out by him, and then you get that. Yeah.
What would you say? Flat hole.
Yeah, and then it's pretty silly, but it's still cool. But it's like, yeah, he's like
he wraps himself up in the flagpole. Yeah.
And I must say, in this movie, there's a lot of let's just say Gotham. There's going to be millions and millions and millions of dollars of repair.
There's a lot of insurance. There's
a lot of damage.
Claims.
A lot of damage that happens.
Well, and then Terry gets that line.
Yeah.
At the end, which is great because after all that, because like he's them, they get away. They get away, but they don't get away with
what they were going for. Yeah.
What they were going for. And then I just love Terry because that line that Terry delivers is an homage to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Because I love it. The camera sees all the destruction, pans around the Terry, so cool. And he's just like, that's not coming out of my allowance.
Yeah. And then title sequence.
Yeah. And of course, On Her Majesty's Service, Bond says the line, "This didn't happen to the other guy."
I know I've seen all the Bonds, but I don't really remember that one.
It is not a popular one, even though
it's not
most faithful adaptation of the novel it's named after.
Okay. Yeah. I know there was in what order was that one? That's not the first. The first one was
Casino Royale. Well, you mean movie or book?
I'm talking about movie.
It was the hold on. So Dr. No, it goes Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, Break, On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay.
Connery comes back for Diamonds Are Forever, and then you get Live and Let Die, and you launch into the Roger Moore era.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I remember when I was watching Pluto TV, they have like a literal channel dedicated to all the Bond movies, and you just can watch them. I remember one time I just had them all on. I just have it on in the background. But anyway, so yeah, we get the opening title sequence, which is great. The score and all the and everything.
Did you notice something about the? This is a fun story, but did you know something about the title sequence?
No,
it's just the titles. It's just black screen titles.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
They ran out of time. They didn't have time to animate anything.
Yeah, because like if you think about like Phantasm, you see like the Gotham skyline.
Right.
It's all kind of you're right. There's just Return of the Joker, and then everybody's name, and of course you're seeing Tara Strong. You're like, oh, Tara Strong's back. And you're seeing just all that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's just kind of basic.
Because they ran out of time. So and then they justified it to themselves because they just had like this really epic opening title, cold open.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, okay, we're just gonna have a little bit of a break, like and just play the music, have the titles. And it was also a really cool story that Paul Dini did not script out all those action beats in that cold open.
Really?
So the director, Kurt Gaeta, he storyboarded that. So a lot of the action you're seeing is invented by Kurt Gaeta because Dini didn't dictate what the specific action moments were going to be in that opening sequence, and left it up to the animators to, do what they wanted to do. And so the director, you can give him the credit for for the action that you see in that cold open.
That's cool. But then we get to of course we get a batarang, and a batarang that slices Two-Face's head,
which is not in the version.
Oh, yeah, I could see that because I mean it because it's interesting because it's obviously not really Two-Face,
right?
But I mean, it is kind of funny. It just goes through, and then the head just slides off slowly. So, wow, it's kind of funny that they did have a problem with that, huh?
They had a problem even with that. So in the Simpsons version, the batarang just just it just flies in the air and it comes back to Bruce, and then we move on. So yeah, that whole sequence where the mannequin of Two-Face gets his head sliced off, that's completely cut from the censored version.
That is hilarious.
That's how petty it got.
That is so crazy.
That is how petty it got.
It looked too much like
it was too violent.
Like he did actually decapitate Two-Face. That's crazy. Yeah. So. Oh man, that's crazy. So then of course Terry shows back up, and this is kind of funny because obviously the dialogue's really good here because it starts explaining that the Joker gang has been attacking these high-tech machinery plants that are just, why would they do that? Because that's not the Joker gang's kind of like style. They don't.
It's not like you hear them complaining about in the cold open. It's like, this isn't
quick cash. The dialogue's already moving along like something's fucking weird here.
Right.
So then Terry's mentioning that, and then obviously, so it's like good on Terry for saying how it's weird. And then of course we see a news report talking about how Bruce is going to be taking back leadership of Wayne Enterprises,
which helps with continuity with the series. Yes. Because there is no defined timeline of when you watch this movie, except you have to have at least watched the first episode of season 3.
Yeah.
Because at the end of season 3 is when Paxton Powers gets arrested, which opens up the window of opportunity for Bruce to get control back of Wayne Enterprises. As long as you've seen that episode, you legitimately could watch this movie at any point because there's no other details. This movie never gets mentioned in the series. The events of this movie are never acknowledged in season 3 of the series. So as long as you've seen the first episode and Paxton's out of the way, you literally can watch this movie at any point. We're just putting it here because of the release date, based on the release date of the movie. This is when you would have watched it, if back in 2000.
Yeah. No, yeah. So we get Bruce. Yeah, he's going to be doing that again. And that, that's, and then we get introduced to Jordan Price, which is so funny because, as I'm like starting to like remember things watching this, I'm like, oh, they did a good job of like the design of Jordan Price, because it's very much like, because if you watch it fresh, you kind of go, because just the way he looks. And I mean,
that was on purpose. Intentional.
Yes,
that was entirely intentional.
Oh, totally. It's, I mean, when you're trying to, because everybody's going to be like, because obviously it's called Return of the Joker. You go, how does the Joker return?
Right.
And then you start kind of going like, and then you see how this guy looks. You're like, wait a minute. But
what else would make you think that?
I don't know.
It's the fact that he
hates. Oh yeah, he's also doing the voice.
He's doing the voice. That was they constructed this complete red herring.
They were totally just like, hey, we're gonna, we know exactly what we're doing here.
It's just like Stacy Keach in Mask of the Phantasm.
That's right.
When you're trying to make it think that it's Beaumont, Mr. Beaumont, who's the Phantasm, because he's also the voice
of the Phantasm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you have to do, especially with animation.
This is we've talked about this. They do this all the time.
Yeah, it's like, it's good. It's a good way, because then when, like, again, you just kind of go like, oh, wait a minute, man, I'm already suspecting here, and then of course we already know that Jordan Price is not happy about it. He's already, he's kind of very smug about Bruce Wayne returning, and then Bruce of course explains to Terry that if he didn't, it would go to him. So we already have he's got a
vendetta because he was the COO of Wayne Enterprises, and he would have been next in line to become the CEO once Paxton was out of the way.
Yeah, and then I like the exchange, like, because obviously it's like, well, if you're going to be doing that, are you going to be able to still do, be the guy in the chair for me? And Bruce is just like, who sleeps anymore? It's like, I don't think Bruce really slept much anyways.
No.
So, but then I found this funny too, because then all of a sudden it's like Terry's just like getting his normal clothes, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna going out with Dana. We're going to the club. And I'm like, dude, hit a shower first. You've been Batman right now. I'm like, can you? I mean, I know it's animations and whatever the hell, and and only someone like me is gonna mention this. Is just like you just got back in your own clothes and what? You just sprayed some Axe on you, and that's about it.
I would not be surprised if he did. He's 17, man.
Yeah, it's true.
What I love is when he's putting his jacket on. He's just like, ow, like because as a 40-year-old man, I know the feeling of trying to put a shirt on or jacket on. And your
well, I mean, he did get bit by a
wolf.
Yeah.
So I don't like it. It's like, Jokers are going in for splicing now, which I love because a little continuity there. Let's remember in this universe we have splicers.
Yeah.
This movie, this scene also does this is doing a really good job of like. Of course, no one's going to watch this movie without watching the show.
Yes,
probably. But the movie's giving you just that level of information that you need. That if you are coming into this movie just maybe slightly fresh, let's give you a little backstory. Let's lay the table for some things to make sure we're all on the same page about this universe.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and they do a very good job. Yeah, they do in this. I mean, that's what they do. Great job when it comes to just the entire first act of like, hey, there's this and this. Hey, let's just remind you. And then if you're watching, obviously and they're probably even thinking like, well, maybe there'll be people that know the show that are watching it with somebody who doesn't know the show, so they can kind of be like, oh, what he said right there, Splicer. There was a whole thing about genetic like things, and it was like a whole thing. Yeah. So you could have people explain it, but yes, and then of course we get that shot. That is a very recognizable shot when it comes to Batman Beyond. Is Terry sleeping in the booth of the club? I mean, I don't know how many times you see. That's just like that's a shot that you just like. That's a recognizable shot for Batman Beyond. It's just him just out, like
passed out.
And it's like, but it's so funny too because Bruce even said like a good night's sleep is probably a better idea. But Terry being 17. And
also him and Dana are finally in like a good place.
Yes.
So he's trying to be a good boyfriend. Because also look at Dana. Dana is like, she's not mad. She's actually quite like understanding.
She goes like, she's appreciative that he's making the effort, and then she gets him on the dance floor and he's still freaking falling asleep on the dance floor. And then she just, after he almost dances with another woman, she brings him back to the booth and was like, tells the waitress, coffee, get this man some coffee kind of thing.
And leave the pot.
And leave the pot. Yeah, I know. She's like, yeah, for sure. So, and then we get to the new hideout that is the Jolly Jack Factory.
Jolly Jack Candy Factory.
Yeah, the candy factory.
Oh my goodness, the editing that happens in this scene.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude. Okay. This is one of those they completely changed the way Bonk dies.
Oh,
completely.
I figured that would be because, I mean, this is where we finally get to see the Joker, and obviously the Joker, the gang is just kind of like, this is all we salvaged from it. We got this chip, and of course he's like, that's useless, smashes it, and then we get the full-on reveal because obviously he's like in the shadows a little bit at first.
It is so freaking creepy.
Yeah, very creepy looking. I mean, it's not hard to make the Joker look creepy. I mean, they're doing that in Cape Crusader, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god! But look at it, like they give him that they give him that slicked back hair. They give him those strangler fingers with like with the black fingernails. So it was really interesting. Bruce Timm tells the story. He was having a really tough ass time trying to crack the Joker Beyond design.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like it wasn't working. Like it just like he couldn't make him look like the old school Joker because we got to make him a future Joker. So what happened was, and it was funny to remember this once again, like 1999, 1998, 1999, Hannibal, the novel, not the movie, but the novel sequel to Silence of the Lambs had just come out. And apparently all the guys like Glenn, Kurt, Bruce, Paul, like all the guys, everyone was reading the book, and they got the idea to manipulate Joker's design to look a little bit more like Hannibal Lecter. And that's what inspired the Joker Beyond redesign was look at Hannibal Lecter, especially the way he looks
totally see it now.
in Silence of the Lambs.
With the slick back hair and the full on, he's not wearing the Joker suit.
He's just wearing a black,
just a full on, jumpsuit kind of thing. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But once again, it's that context of like, oh yeah, that book came out around this time, and I was reading it right before this movie, the year this movie came out. I was reading that book, so it's this really cool connection to think that was kind of in the zeitgeist, and then that inspired this version of the Joker. Because even when Mark Hamill came into the recording booth, he went like full on Joker, and they had to tell Mark,
bring it down,
bring it down, bring it down.
Because he's not quite. I mean, there's moments where he, but it's for the most part, it's like no, he's more of like it's there, but
more
it's
sinister,
subtle. It's sinister. Yes. So and then of course we get the Bonk, who's just like not having it. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this. Fuck this. And he's like, in Joker's face, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden, of course, he brings out the big gun and obviously pulls the trigger. It's the bang flag, and it's like, oh, okay. And then you pull the trigger again. Oh, that bang flag just turns into an actual,
spear.
Stick. Yeah. Boom, shoots him right in the chest. It's like, okay, yeah, he means business. Of course, that freaks out the rest of the group. And I mean, just even showing what Bonk looks like when he's on the table, his eyes are just like fucking just white.
What? Okay, so let's talk about what the censored version looks like. Okay, but you've got to realize this is really great writing, in my opinion, for the uncensored version, because you're foreshadowing.
Oh yeah,
his death.
Yes.
Well, when they have to go and change his death, they have to change this death.
Yeah, of course.
So in the censored version of the movie, they have to animate. It's just Joker gas. When he pulls the trigger, they animate in this green cloud, and him on the table is just him with the big smile on his face. Yeah. And it's basically just he Joker gassed him.
That's funny.
And then that whole sequence after when he's like, are you with me? Are you with me? And the whole crew is like freaked out.
Where with you? Where with you?
All that's cut.
Yeah.
It just like he walks past, like if you watch once again, the side by side, Joker walks past the table, you just see Joker. Well, in the censored version, they basically layered Bonk there on the table with the green smoke mist still floating as he walks by, and then it basically moves right into the let's go look for let's go.
For like another one of the scanners, and then they
the scanners.
Cool. Yeah. And Ghoul gets on the computer,
right? It almost cuts directly to that. Essentially,
so it just goes right to that. Yeah, which is so. Did they cut out the "I'm tanned, I'm rested"?
No, that's still there. That's I'm tanned.
Okay, because
that was even in the trailer.
Okay,
I'm tanned, I'm rested, and I'm ready to give this town a wedgie again.
Yeah,
and then it goes right into, and then he goes into basically the. Let's go look at the computer. But that entire sequence where it's like, are you with me? Tell me that you're with me.
That's all gone.
That's all gone.
Gotcha.
So you also don't get that shot because that also goes to the shot of, him like, dead-eyed on the table, and even the DDs rolling him off the table. All that is
gone, of course.
Is gone in the censored.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then there's looking at the screen, and obviously they're not showing exactly what's on the screen, and it's like, oh yeah, let's go here, and then like, oh, security is going to be tight, and you already know. You're like, oh gee, I wonder where that's going.
Declan even went Wayne Enterprises.
Yes.
What was great was watching this.
Your son is awesome. Yeah.
Oh, dude. I
saw your tweet. Yeah.
I know, right? Watching this movie with Declan. I mean, Callum even watched the movie. I mean, that was something. But Declan was even like, is this movie going to be creepy? He said, yeah, it's going to be creepy. And he's like, okay. And there was a couple of spots where he just kind of was like, Okay, I'm not going to watch this part. But even he went, it's Wayne Enterprises, isn't it? I said, yeah, it is.
Of course. I mean, like when they said that, it's like, oh yeah, we already know. And then cut to, oh yeah, they're at Wayne Enterprises. There's a whole like, little gala dinner thing, whatever the hell that's happening. Of course, Terry and Bruce are there. And they're this is the whole thing that where Bruce is going to be talking about like taking over leadership of Wayne Enterprises again. So, and naturally Jordan Price is not there. Of course, being Bruce shocker.
So one of the deleted, now when I say deleted scene, as in it was cut at the storyboard, like they storyboarded it and it was part of what they cut at the storyboard stage, so it never even got animated. But there was supposed to be another scene somewhere in this vicinity of the movie that was supposed to be Jordan Price and Bruce Wayne talking to each other, and Jordan just revealing that he knows a lot about Bruce Wayne, like stuff that anyone would be able to find out, publicly, but you could just tell that like they were trying to develop the red herring that Jordan Price is the Joker. And so they wanted to do that by saying, oh, Jordan Price knows a little too much about Bruce Wayne. And they had to cut it for time because once again, it was two middle-aged men talking and it didn't further the plot along. The one thing Bruce Timm did acknowledge was, but losing that scene hurts this film in the way that we never really do a great job setting up Jordan Price as a red herring. Like we never really develop him that well. And so in one of the, and because those kind of scenes, when you had to cut 14 minutes out of the movie because you only were budgeted for 70 minutes, that's the kind of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor going, it doesn't progress the plot. So
you know what? Now you say that, there really is not much except for that opening little news clip where it's like,
and then there's another thing later on. There's like one more time, basically just him appearing on the news is really all you really get, because they don't ever actually like interact in person in the final cut of the movie.
Was missing that. Yeah, definitely was missing that. Yeah, didn't think about that. I'm like, they did not really do a good job of trying to be like, hey, this might be the guy.
Said, even with the shows, we're like 22 minutes. Well, even with this animated movie,
70 minutes.
70 minutes. It's like they never have enough time.
Yeah, there's never enough time. Never enough time. Just ask Zack Snyder. Never enough time. No, but so, and then of course Bruce gets up on the microphone, and as he starts talking, the microphone starts giving feedback. And the second time it does it, all of a sudden you hear the Joker laugh, which of course is like, what the fuck?
And
then of course Mr. Hyena Boy shows up and just kind of charges in first, of course. And Terry,
I love how Bruce just like takes his cane and like just beats his ass.
Oh yeah, Bruce does what Bruce does, and Terry tries to do what Terry does. Obviously, the whole gang is starting to charge in, and then of course when Bruce like gets, he falls down and there's like an opening that's in the floor, and we see the psh, and then all of a sudden Joker rises up. And I love how the animation is and how it's just like right on Bruce's face, and he's absolutely frightened. And
freaked out.
He is like, what the fuck? How can this be? There's no way that this could be. And so obviously it's just like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck? And so yeah, I like that. It just zeroes in on Bruce's face. He's like, it can't be, like, because it's like he's just seeing a freaking ghost right here. So
right. And what I love also is you get that you've never seen Bruce like that. And the movie still hasn't told you what happened.
No, exactly.
So there's this great buildup. Like first the mystery is, there's the mystery of who is this Joker? Mm-hmm. Well, there's also the mystery of, well, what happened to the Joker?
Exactly. Because we didn't see it when we watched the Batman,
the animated series.
Yeah, we didn't see that. So we're all still kind of curious of like, okay. And they do a great job of building that up as well. And then, even before this, obviously with everything that's happening, Bruce is just like, get to work, tells Terry that. So Terry's like going, time to suit up. And then, of course, he
intervenes.
He intervenes. Batman intervenes.
I love this line where Joker
yeah.
just looks at him. He's just like, ears are too. Oh, you must be the new kid. You must be the new guy. Ears are too long, and I missed the cape.
Yeah. Another good one. Another good line.
And I think those lines actually, I this wasn't in the commentary, but I feel like that must have been like fan reaction to the suit. Ears are too long, and I missed the cape.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because Paul Dini would do that. Paul Dini would totally do that.
He was probably looking at feedback. He probably looked at some of the letters. They probably got a shit ton of letters.
Well, message boards at this point. And like,
it's getting to that point. But yeah, they probably were still getting physical letters. Also, when it comes to all this, because imagine what it'd be like now. Jesus Christ, instant. And then, of course, so we got all that, and then Hyena, of course, goes after Batman, kind of like, disposes him for a bit, and they all escape, and a bunch of little bombs go off, and, of course, there's people that are falling, so naturally Batman goes after them.
Which allows the Jokers to get away.
Yes, and I love how he calls them Batfake.
Batfake. I love that throughout the movie. It's like,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
What's going to be, Batfake?
Batfake.
I mean, they must have had a lot of fun, and they probably were working with Mark Hamill with like what can we call Batman? What would the Joker do then? I'm sure like I would like to believe.
I have a feeling it's probably Paul Dini wrote that, but
but I'd like to believe that he was also talking with Mark Hamill, and they were maybe toying with some ideas. But and then of course. After all, everything is all, obviously he rescues the people, they get away, and then they're driving back to Wayne Manor, and Terry's doing the Terry thing where he's kind of like, messed up, they got away and I was rescuing those people. But it's just like, dude, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to rescue the people.
But Terry is still kind of having that.
Yeah, he's still having doubts.
Right, yeah, he's still having doubts.
And Bruce is like, you did exactly what you were supposed to do,
Yeah. So Joker, he was one of the big ones, huh?
Yeah. This is where we start going, oh, Terry really has no idea. Because, I mean, when you look at the Batcave, and I think that's just one of the reasons why maybe they wanted to show how in the opening when we see Bruce Wayne in the Batcave and we see the mannequins, there is no – the only thing that's really referenced to the Joker is the Joker card, right?
Right, the Joker card. That's it. So to go back to Mr. I think it was Mr. Venom who asked the question at the beginning. Why did when he asked why didn't Terry do his homework? I think Bruce scrubbed everything.
Yes,
like this. Like they are so freaking secretive about what happened.
Yeah,
that I think Terry couldn't do.
Yeah,
research. Like he knew about Ra's al Ghul. He was able to read up on other people.
He knew about the others. He knew about Harvey. He knew about fucking
Mr.
Scarface.
Scarface. But it's like there was probably nothing. Terry's probably, based on some of the comments he makes, he's just working on urban legend and old guys telling stories.
Yeah, and maybe he's like, because obviously he knows about the Joker gang, so he's like, oh yeah, there probably was somebody, but it was just like some fucking gang leader, not realizing it was Batman's ultimate arch nemesis.
Well, he says he was the big one. He was the big one, right? Yeah, and Bruce going, it wasn't a popularity contest.
Yeah, I know. I love that. That's a good response. But yeah, so but then it's like, obviously they're wondering like, well, he's got to be like what, 80? I mean, he's got to be your age. So why is he so? He's pretty spry for
for an old guy.
He's not really missed a step. So it's like, what is going on here? And then of course this is where we cut to a mystery when you're a mystery
when you're watching
character. A mystery character of somebody sitting in their living room seeing the reports, and you're kind of just like. And he's like kind of freaked out, like, what the fuck? Like, and you're like, huh? And
even his wife is like, honey, what you watching? Nothing, honey.
Nothing, yeah. And good to be like, okay, this is like you're like, okay, well, who the fuck was that guy?
Right.
So
hopefully we recognize the voice.
Yeah, that's what's his name again? I'm totally blanking.
Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell, yeah. And if you look him up, I mean, obviously, if you watch Quantum
Leap,
I mean, come on, you know who Dean Stockwell? He's been in so many. He's a great character actor.
Yeah,
he's got a very recognizable voice.
And then he ended up being on the reboot of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
so.
he's just a great character actor. I mean,
yeah.
he's been in so many things.
Here's the funny thing. Great little trivia. One of his first big roles as a child actor was in a movie called The Boy with Green Hair.
What? And that's funny because he was a child actor.
Yeah, he was a child actor. You can look up his IMDb. Yes,
I gotta look this up. I gotta because I've only known him as like kind of like an old guy.
Right. You know, to me it was Quantum Leap. I mean, like that's
Quantum Leap was what was his name in Quantum Leap? I'm totally blanking.
Oh God, what?
What was his name in Quantum Leap? God damn, he was.
I know. What was his character? Because he was the hologram.
Oh wow! Look at him as a kid. That's fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, he's got green hair right there. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Wow, he looks like a Joker. Wow. So yeah, that is pretty funny.
Al.
That's right. Al. Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I love Quantum Leap. Such a great show. Such a great show. Oh
yeah, the idea that was such a great little piece of trivia that his first.
That's like when I said Dean Stockwell kid, that was one of the first images that showed him in green hair. And it's like, well, that's funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's a nice little connection right here that we get to. But yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, we know where we're getting to when it comes to this mystery character in the moment of the story, which again, great. It's like, oh, okay. And so then we get Terry visiting Barbara. So we get Barbara.
Yes.
And another great line where it's like, what can you tell me about clowns?
And this clowns are never funny.
Yeah, see? Just good writing. Good writing. And then, obviously, and it almost seems like Terry is not taking it as seriously because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Yes.
Yeah. He just thinks like, so this
he had a clown motif. Like in his brain, he's like, you're talking about a villain whose shtick was, I'm a clown.
Yeah.
And Barbara's like, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah. you don't even know what is happening. So, and then she kind of is like, yeah, just fuck whatever, like you get out of here, whatever. And like, I'm not going to tell you too much. Then we got.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, hey, this is, unless
the wall is up, like no one is telling, which. It's like I understand personally the trauma that they went through, but it's also like Terry's freaking Batman.
Yeah,
he needs to know like what's going on.
Yeah, it is a little bit like, why aren't you telling him? Because he is the current Batman. I mean, come on, guys. But I mean, I guess it's probably just the whole thing because of just the whole thing of him being young to
Well, yeah. Well, they want to. It's like they want to protect him.
Yeah,
but they're also protecting themselves because of what happened that night.
Yeah,
and
then of course, Mr. Mystery character walks by Terry, goes into Barbara's office, and
calls her Barb.
Yep. Yeah. And it's like, oh, and Terry's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Kind of thing. So, and then of course we get Bruce at the Bat computer, who's just like struggling a little bit. And then, he runs a voice analysis,
which is fun because those are lines from the animated series.
Uh-huh.
Do you know where they came from?
No, I don't know which one.
Okay. No, they're not. No, they did re-record the lines.
Oh, okay.
But the dialogue is taken directly from Holiday Nights.
Oh, nice.
So the one where that's the Joker portion where he's going to use the New Year's Eve bell to gas the city. And there's a news broadcast in the episode where he's dressed in like a football referee outfit, and that's the dialogue from that episode. And Bruce is using that for the vocal analysis.
That's pretty cool. And then, of course, matching it to what was recorded that night, and it's an actual match, and that's what's like. Again, it was just like, oh, the mystery continues. How the fuck?
Yeah,
How the fuck is he back? Kind of thing. So, and when Terry comes in, he's just like, oh yeah, that's the big villain that you had. That's your big guy right there. And then Bruce tells him that he was there when he died. And obviously it's like, well,
and I love the assumption Terry makes.
Yes.
And he's like,
you killed him.
You killed him?
Yeah.
He finally did something so bad. Like you had no, like Terry understands what a big deal it would be for Bruce to kill somebody. Like he gets it, but he's now starting to understand. Oh, like when he assumes that Bruce is the one who killed him, he's like,
well, and there's no reason why he shouldn't.
No, the way everyone is like,
yeah,
radio silent about
because
it.
Obviously, what is Batman's number one rule?
Like, don't kill.
Yes,
you know,
don't kill. So it's like, oh, you fucking killed this guy. This is why this is so crazy. Like, why you guys are being fucking weird about this.
But also, I feel like it really lands for Terry what a threat the Joker is.
Yes, that too.
If you were willing to kill this guy,
yeah, all of a sudden Terry's going, oh wait, I should probably be taking this a little bit more seriously than I actually have been.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's just like, oh shit. But at least Bruce is like, hey, you know,
because the line, the way it goes, the way that Bruce goes,
yeah,
he died. How do you know? I was there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, like,
and then it's like all that, and then all of a sudden Bruce just goes like, give me the bat suit. I don't want you a part of this anymore. And it's just like, whoa. I mean, we get a very intense scene right here.
There's also this crazy scene where Terry really opens up about how much being Batman
has helped him.
Has helped him and means to him. Which also, if you've not been like that tuned into the series, you're getting you're getting a lot of great like backstory on Terry in this moment. You know, my dad's like Bruce goes.
Yeah, Bruce is like,
you caught your dad's killers. Like it's like, you know,
you don't need to be doing this anymore and blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, no, it's not so much that, but all the time, all the bad stuff I did when I was younger. And it's like, I feel like I'm just doing good. I'm being the hero and all this stuff. And it's like, so yeah, it's a very intense moment to the point where it's just like,
it's great character building for Terry.
It really is, you know, and then Bruce is just like, you know, stupid. He basically calls him a stupid kid. And he's like, you
stupid
don't know.
Kids, you never know what you wanted.
What you want. None of you did. So Bruce is projecting like his demons with the Robins that he had and Batgirl. Obviously, it's like, because he's always had that. And so he just kind of just lashes out. And then Terry's just like, fuck you then. And then he just throws down the freaking costume and just runs out of the Batcave. And it's just like, whoa, okay. And then, of course, we get a fun little scene of like Terry just like, all right, well, guess I just got to go back to being a teenager. So we get the whole like, he's in a robe. He's
eating
at
breakfast.
Home. He's pouring a cereal and everything.
Matt comes in.
Matt's like,
Mom, there's a stranger.
In
Which is a great scene because once again, let's remind everyone that Terry has a family.
Yes.
You know, his mom, he has a brother.
Yes. And, you know, and then he basically says like, yeah, I'm not working for Mr. Wayne anymore. And, you know, it's funny because like Terry's mom is happy, but also not at the same time, because it was like, because now it's like she got so used to him not being there. And so now it's like, oh shit, now I got to hear them fight a lot more. Now you kind of get that sense.
I also love Matt. I was getting used to being an only child.
Exactly. Yeah. So we get a nice appearance from, that's the only appearance we get. You know, of course, Terry Garr is the voice of the mom
of Mary McGinnis.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it a fun little moment. The only thing I was like missing when it came to this, no Max.
Yes, I know.
No Max in this movie. I wonder why did they say anything in the commentary of why there's no Max?
But if I'm thinking, if you're thinking about the timeline, Max really joins up in season 2. This movie's being developed parallel to season 2, so Max wasn't a
where she is then.
Where she is now. So
true.
There's two theories. Either Max would have just complicated stuff in this episode, or if you track the development, Max wasn't there yet, so she wasn't in this movie. So because if you got that, yes, it was released during season 3, but production started before season 2.
Yeah, I figured it was something that had to do with like they were just, you know, they were trying to do this thing. And I, you know, it's like because obviously, like watching it currently, you kind of go like, I mean, when you're watching it, you don't even think about it. Then I was kind of like, this is where I started going, oh yeah, that's right. Max is not in this movie.
Yes.
But then I was like, but then where would she fit? To be honest, I'm like, within the story, maybe there could have been one scene, you know.
But once again, we're talking about an episode. They cut 14 minutes of what they had.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, Dana's in this twice because obviously then we get her showing up at the club again with some friends, with Chelsea being one of the friends.
Yep.
So we get Chelsea back. And then, of course, it's like, you know, hey, sometimes you just can't go out without the boyfriends and stuff like that. And then, but of course, like Terry's who upset, hey, darling, hey, I'm here. And blah, blah,
and by the way, this was the thing I made the comment earlier that I was like, Clone Avenger, shut up. What? So there's a song. Okay. There's a song that's playing over this club scene. It's called Crash. It's on the soundtrack. On the DVD, there's a music video that's on the DVD. Static X.
No shit.
Mephisto Static X. Yes.
Remember, I keep on calling
Static Shock. Yes, exactly. Which is why I made the note.
That's hilarious. I did not even fucking hear that.
Yes.
And I sitting here because back in the early 2000s, I listened to Static X. I didn't even hear it. Jesus Christ, I'm bad. When I was watching through the credits yesterday, when I was watching the censored version, because part of me wanted to go, because I always remember the song because it was on the soundtrack album, and it's the music video was on the DVD as a special feature. I couldn't remember where the song showed up in the movie, but then when I was watching the credits, I saw it, and then I saw Mephisto featuring Static X. I was like, "Oh, funny. Dude, I'm making a note of this for Dave. This is awesome." That's awesome. Yes. I totally didn't even. Damn, I didn't pay attention.
With all the Static Shock references,
I know. And I kept on calling him Static X because of the fucking band. Damn it!
And then the band shows up. I mean,
oh God, I'm gonna have to go back and listen now.
Yeah, but it's that scene before the Jokers show up and start.
Effing things up because we get the twin, we get the twin. What are they? Dee, right?
Dee. Yes.
Yeah, they show up without makeup, and of course they're trying to like, hey, can we cut in? And it's like, what the fuck? And then of course, Dana gets grabbed, and then now it's like Terry has to like fight him off. Obviously, he can't jump into his bat suit, so he's got to be just regular old Terry, you know.
But once again, notice, but they're attacking Terry, which means they know who Terry is.
Exactly. So then when you're watching the story, you're kind of going like, well, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here? And then cut to in the cave where, you know, Bruce is still trying to figure things out, or he's doing the Joker.
He's making the Joker toxin.
Joker talk, the antitoxin.
The antitoxin, yes.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden Ace starts freaking the fuck out, and he runs up the stairs, and then we hear the terrible sound that we never want to hear of a fucking crying dog. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You always see that. I mean, it's always off camera too, which is always good. But when you hear it, you're like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden we get like a little ball thing,
little gas ball
with a little smiley face on it, and sure enough, it's a little gas ball, and then out of the gas, here comes Joker, who says hello. You know, he basically
hello, Bruce.
Yeah.
It's also it's so and even they talk about in the commentary how it's so unsettling to see the Joker in the Batcave.
Yeah, because you don't really. I mean, Jesus Christ, we didn't get that in the animated series before.
No, actually, and that's one of the cool things. I'm going to tie this back to the comics that come later, but like the death of the family story arc at Scott Snyder's Batman. There's a whole thing about the Joker knows where the cave is, and like it just makes you go, oh, it's like I don't like this.
That's not good. Not good.
And of course, he's like, "Hello, Bruce," or should I say, Batman? And you're like, "Oh,
what? He knows? Oh shit, he knows how to." Yeah. And then of course, the twins are fighting Terry, and then of course they're all fighting Terry, and then he gets up to the second level, and I even wrote this because I was like, leg strength.
Yes.
Leg strength. We've talked
leg
about
day. Don't skip leg day.
We always talk about the leg strength of Bruce, leg strength of Terry, because obviously like this club being in the future, it's like this big fucking lava lamp.
It is a big lava lamp.
Yeah.
By the way, a cool animation trick they do
Huh.
Because they're in a nightclub. And so what's the effect you notice that happens to try to mimic a nightclub effect? Did you
Like the strobe light kind of
another strobe light, but also okay. So this is a great because TMS did this for the world. They didn't mention the episode specifically the commentary, but in my brain I went, oh, they're talking about World's Finest because that scene in the club where Batman and Superman meet for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So because they got flashing lights in that club.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what TMS would do during the hand-drawn days was they would put I was a theater kid, so they're called gels. The ones that's what you slide in front of a theater light to make colors.
Oh yeah.
So what TMS would do to do, boom, boom, do strobe lights and stuff, is that they would just as you're photographing the different cells of animation, you just slid in different gels on top of the cell to put a layer of color over the animation to give you the different lights. Well, this is digital now, so you're not photographing cells and not able to put like gels on top of them. So if you watch it, they're just painting each character one color, and they're just changing the color that the character is painted as, and that's mimicking the club lights flashing on the characters.
That's really cool. See?
So it was just an interesting understanding of what you did during the cell and paint days,
and then the digital days. Yeah,
because it was really interesting listening to Bruce Timm and the conversation we're having now, where Bruce is talking about painting backgrounds and people like not feeling great about it. And he's like, listen, a computer's just a tool. And it's just like, wow, back in 1999 and 2000, we're still having this conversation of the computer's just a tool.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's when you start bringing this stuff up, you start bringing this stuff up where it's like, whoa, I mean, where people are probably, and that's the thing. The internet wasn't a thing back then, but can you imagine? I mean, that's the thing. It's like everything just like, hey, it's a tool. And usually, yeah, it is a tool, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was
very, but still there's that behind the scenes animation thing of how do you create like the challenge.
How do you create that nightclub effect?
How do you create the nightclub effect, and how does that challenge change when your tools change with animation? So that's how they do the nightclub effect in this movie.
That's really cool. And obviously, Dana, she takes a nice little spill. Jeez.
Oh god, she like smashes on one of the lights.
Yeah, she takes a nice little spill. So after everything's all said and done, and the Joker gang leaves, basically it's like, when Terry's getting out there, like she's getting put on a stretcher and put into an ambulance, and of course Chelsea's out there and she's gonna like watch over her and everything, and then Terry just does that thing of like, fuck, I gotta get back, and he's just get on the bike, don't give a shit about stoplights,
go to Wayne Manor, and he's calling, he's like, Bruce, they attacked me, not Batman, me.
So he's already knowing something's up, and then all of a sudden he's like, wait, why did I get the voice message? And like,
where does he go at night?
Yeah, at night. It's like, what the fuck? He's not, what the, so already, and then you get like that, you just get that kind of creepy fucking vibe feeling where it's like, he shows up to Wayne Manor, the gates like, ink, it's like open, and it's just like, it's not,
and of course the music is creepy as like,
creepy as fuck. He's walking into Wayne Manor. There's shit all smashed up, and he's just like, "What the fuck?" And then, of course, he sees the clock is open.
No, first he finds Ace.
First he finds Ace.
And Ace is out.
Yeah, Ace is not in good shape. And then he looks over. He sees the clock open, and it's like, oh shit!
Not only is it open, it's smashed.
It's all fucked up. And then you see that crazy shot when he's going down the steps, and he sees the floor of the Batcave, and it's just a bunch of Haas. Such a comic fucking panel.
Well, okay. Two things about this scene. Okay. One, censored cut strikes again.
Oh. Why?
What color was the ha-has?
Oh, they're red. Yeah.
Yeah. They changed the color.
Oh, what, to green or
purple?
Black? Purple? Of course.
Well, because that would have been quick. Add some blue to it, and you could quickly
quickly change the color. That makes
quickly
sense.
change the color. Yeah, because there was concern that it would look like
Yes.
blood.
Well, I think that's what they're kind of going for,
Yeah, but also great. Also adding to the oh shit, this Joker knows things.
Yeah.
Does this remind you of anything?
This whole sequence of like him in the
Well,
back.
him running in, seeing the ha ha ha's painted everywhere.
Oh no! What is it? Tell me.
Rebirth. His dad's
Oh,
body.
That's right.
The Joker.
Rebirth. Yes.
Rebirth. Yeah,
Wow.
because when Mr. Fix kills his dad, he frames the Joker gangs by spraying ha 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 all over his dad's house.
Yes.
So Joker is fucking with Terry by making by attacking Bruce in the Batcave, but mimicking Terry's dad's death.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's think about that. So bringing it back again, bringing it back. Oh,
but also showing you how the Joker is just mind fucking everybody.
That's the thing. It's like Joker's just he's just like that. Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
Holy shit. Wow, you just blew my mind. You just blew my mind right now. I did not even think about that. I just thought it just was like such a cool shot. I'm like, that's a comic book panel right there. Yeah. And then of course we see Bruce, like he finds Bruce. Fucking this is creepy as shit.
Oh, Bruce with Joker glass?
Yeah. And he just turns around and he's just and it's like, oh shit. Of course, he feels his pulse. He's still alive, but he's just but it's crazy because obviously he's laughing. But he still has enough Bruce Wayne in him to be like underneath
the table.
And obviously we saw him like when he was making the anti-Joker toxin, like, and he fell, like a lot of it just broke,
smashed and spilled.
But there was one vial that was still intact. Yeah. So he got that, gets it in him. But that's just creepy to see old Bruce.
Oh, to hear Kevin Conroy doing that, like, ooh.
Yeah, the way he's talking and everything. I mean, it's so fucking
because he's struggling. It's like yeah.
And then of course we get Barbara. She shows up, and obviously Bruce is in bed, and she's just like, "Hey, well, the toxin it's in there now. It's up to him." Kind of thing, And then it's kind of funny because then all of a sudden we get a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
I know.
It's like. And Ace is watching like a Bugs Bunny cartoon on the couch or something. It's just kind of funny.
Well, it's a great moment. It's a great moment of like tension relief. It's like, whoa, we just went through an intense scene.
Yeah.
Let's have a little.
How's Ace doing? He's doing fine. He's resting. He's got a Bugs Bunny cartoon that's on. And and then all of a sudden Terry just kind of changed his channel, and then all of a sudden he sees Jordan Price talking about, the fact that, they have to delay Wayne taking over the leadership because of an injury.
He had a bad spill.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden
he's always playing off of he's old. Like that's always, it's a lot of ageism coming from Jordan Price.
Such a dick.
Yeah.
So then Terry's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. But then this is where we to the flashback.
And oh my God, be prepared for me having to talk about all the ways a flashback got changed.
Oh, I'm sure in this one, because it has to do with a kid.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of little things. Like so everyone just buckle up, Buttercup, because one, we got to deal with this flashback, which I still remember even watching the censored cut.
Yeah.
How the flashback made me feel 26 years ago the first time I watched it. But then also to us discussing the differences between the original cut of the movie and the censored cut of the movie and the weird changes that got made.
I'm kind of curious. I'm curious how they do it, because I mean, obviously it's like Terry's just like he needs these answers, and Barbara's like, you know what? All right. And this is where we start talking about the flashback, and she starts talking about how, Tim was just like
Nightwing has already left for Bloodhaven. And
she's like, Nightwing she didn't even say it. She just says for a new town,
establish herself in a different city. And we're like, well,
we know
Bloodhaven.
We know, just fucking say it. We know. But I think that's kind of nice that they didn't say it, because, and then we could just be like, oh, we know. We know where he went. But yeah, she starts just talking about it. And of course, we see Tim, and and then and it was funny because I remember these shots and just like Tim like putting his leg up on the ledge and looking like a hero.
The hero shot, yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that shot. And yeah, and then of course, obviously he's doing the thing, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna rescue somebody, but turns out it was Harley, and then it's like a whole miss. And obviously they kidnap him, or they get him,
and we get introduced to our now third design for the Joker.
Yes,
this right. Is my favorite. This is my favorite,
really,
design. Of the Joker.
Yeah, no, he looks good. Yeah,
he looks good. This is actually the design that gets carried forward into the rest of the DCAU.
Yeah.
And even in the commentary, Bruce, Tim, and company, they full on like own.
Yeah, they're like, we're not gonna have the black eyes.
Like he said, we took away the lipstick.
Yeah.
He said they were like, it didn't work. Like they were like, the design looked good, it didn't animate well. Yeah. And so they just like, so we knew when we got to this, we're gonna have to redesign him again. Like, so it was nice to hear them go, it didn't really work. The fans didn't like it. So we changed it again.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm glad they did. Yeah. It is a good design. So, and then of course, they were saying like, Tim went missing. They were looking for him. So,
okay. They even make a change when they're looking for him.
No shit. How?
Okay. So there's that shot of Barbara, interviewing people on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. They changed those two people.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, who was Barbara talking to?
I don't remember now.
It was two women that looked a little suspect.
Oh yeah, like prostitutes.
Yeah. One of them looks like Black Canary, by the way. Look at there's two of them. Look at the one on the left. It looks like Dinah. Like blue jacket, black thing, blonde hair.
Might have to go back and check that out. Yeah,
you go check that out. It looks like Black Canary, but yeah, it's two. It looks like two prostitutes. Yeah. And in the censored version, they replaced them with a guy and a goth looking chick.
Of course,
but they completely reanimate the two people. She's like, that's how petty this gets.
That's crazy.
They reanimate who Batgirl is talking to on the street. So yeah,
jeez, yeah. So, I mean, this is like it's what's interesting. What I love about this flashback is like we're getting older Barbara talking about it. I mean, it's so noir-y. It's so like
we're hearing the old themes,
and we're seeing Batman and Batgirl.
Yeah,
and
then their Batman.
Yes,
in the Batman New Adventure designs. I will say, retroactively, this does become a little bit of a continuity error.
Does it? Why?
Because his costume works with the new Batman adventures.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for how his costume looks in Justice League.
Yeah.
Which Justice League would have happened before the events of this flashback.
Nah.
I know. It's just one of those things you just go, nah. He went back to the old suit.
He went back to the old suit. He went back to the old ways. And then, of course, and then she says, one night we got an invitation. So they show up, and then it's like this big, huge jack-in-a-box thing that turns into a fucking grenade.
Yeah.
It's just.
But it's interesting because you look at the head.
Yeah.
The head's got a domino mask on it, so it looks like Robin.
Yeah.
But it's wrapped up in a straight jacket.
Yeah.
So that's the clue that.
They're
at Arkham.
And then, of course, at this time, Arkham has been abandoned.
Yeah, they moved to a new high security facility. Yes. Okay, so the deleted scene that you can see the storyboards for on the DVD to foreshadow this flashback, there is a scene sometime in between the Joker reappearing and this, where old Bruce goes to Arkham in the future.
Okay.
And walks through Arkham and literally like shot for shot matches Batman and Batgirl walking through Arkham. So basically they The idea was that they were going to parallel the way that Batman and Batgirl walk in through Arkham with this earlier scene of old Bruce going through abandoned Arkham in the future. And he's actually supposed to walk into the operating theater. And then there's supposed to be like this like Joker doll thing hanging there, which is supposed to freak Bruce out even more because it's supposed to go, oh, this Joker even knows about that night. So that's where that deleted scene plays it. So it's probably like sometime right before after he confirms the voice match, but then before he's making the antitoxin, the scene probably would fit in. But like they said, you can cut it out because it doesn't affect the plot at all. It just foreshadows that something went down at Arkham.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see. Damn it. Release the freaking whatever cut.
It was never animated. It was cut.
I know, that's the bad part. It's like, when it comes to animation, it's like, you can't really do anything about it unless you just get like storyboard animation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then of course, and then we get, I mean, it is this scene is creepy as fuck because we're walking through like a just
partially the line that Barbara says, like, it was partially demolished, left alone like a rotting wound.
Yeah, and like, it is. And then you're hearing Harley singing that.
Oh, the hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And she gets through like 2 or 3 verses of the lullaby.
And then we're hearing that in the distance. I mean, that's the thing.
Does this not give you like this is the thing that gives me the vibes like I'm playing the Arkham Asylum video game.
Yes, 100%. Jesus Christ. Oh,
of course, who wrote the Arkham Asylum video game?
Wow,
Paul Dini.
Makes sense, right? But so they're walking through, she's singing, and it's like kind of like their own like new little hideout. And then of course she shoots like something that like a bazooka little thing at him that wraps a bunch of stuff around, like
streamers around him.
So he's like indisposed, but obviously he's always got that knife that's right there in his gauntlet, it's right there. And but then this is where I mean, I'm wondering what did they do when it came to, this right here, I don't know how you censor this. They probably kept it the same, right? When they
okay. Up to this point, everything's kept the same. I remember watching this in 2000, and it gave me anxiety watching this scene because just the build up to it of Joker saying, we're not getting any younger. We want to start a family, but that line of, and instead of going through the joys of childbirth, we thought we'd borrow one, and we always knew you had an extra one hanging around.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And then you just go, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Right, exactly. And they open the curtain.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if you heard it, but there's a music cue that plays when they pull back the curtain.
What is it?
Chris Carter took an antique child's music box, put it on top of an acoustic.
So you hear that?
Bring,
bring, bring. Yeah.
He took a kid's music box, put it on top of an acoustic guitar to get the reverb, and then recorded that.
Jesus Christ! Oh man. Yeah, and then we get the reveal of Tim Drake,
Joker Jr.,
which I don't know. I've seen that memed, and I've seen that on my Twitter. Like, I see it randomly, which is so funny. I don't know. It's like just because when you see that shadowy looking,
like all you see is the
eyes, and then you got the fucking smile on his. Oh,
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Another little production thing.
Of course.
That so Matthew Valencia is the voice actor for Tim Drake.
Okay.
That is not him laughing.
I didn't think it was going to be the original. Yeah. Okay. Who is it?
Because he couldn't.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's Andrea Romano.
No shit. The casting director.
Yes. If you actually look in the voice credits, she's in the voice cast as the laughing boy.
That is great. I love that. Because
Matthew
obviously,
Valencia
wow.
could not do a maniacal laugh. So they got Andrea Romano to do it.
That's crazy. Wow, that's so cool. I love that. I love that. So she was like, I'll do it. You still fuck it, I'll do it.
So all the laughing that happens throughout this flashback is Andrea Romano.
That is great. That's great. I love
Yeah.
that. God damn, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, and then of course, I mean, this is like devastating because it's just like for Batman, and it's just, and then naturally he breaks.
Okay,
so
here's where the edits start.
Oh, whoa, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's really terrible when you watch the censored cut and you know how it's supposed to play out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the sequence goes, Joker is like, has been taunting the shit out of Batman.
Yeah, it's just so bad.
It's so bad. And Batman's fine, like, fuck you. Okay. So in the original version, he's been cutting himself free with his knife. He breaks free and then throws the knife at the Joker. Joker dodges it, gets up, and starts laughing, and then chaos ensues. They cut that in the censored version.
Why?
Because he threw the knife.
I know, I get it.
So
he used a weapon.
Right. So in the censored version, he breaks free, and then it cuts immediately to Joker standing there laughing. The stupid thing is, if you look behind him, the hole in the knife. No, you don't see the knife, but you see the hole in the curtain that the knife went through.
That's funny. They were like, nobody will notice. Nobody will notice. But it's so pivotal because it's like, because Batman was just like, he turned into Savage Batman, where it was like, fuck this. And then he was like, he just went, fuck you, and just chucked that thing at him, like hoping that it was going to stick right between his eyes. Kind of thing. And you can't blame him. Jesus Christ, look what he did. And it gets worse because
it does get worse.
It gets worse because, obviously, we get this whole sequence where, obviously, like, Batman's going after him.
He's just a wrecking ball.
He's just like, I am going to fuck you up. Batgirl, of course, swoops in, and then her and Harley start fighting. Harley is just shooting like a bazooka. Just at fucking...
Not yet. The bazooka.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. But so we just get to all that. But then when we get to that where Joker just starts playing the film.
Okay. I'm
sure this was probably censored too.
Oh, you don't see any, you see Our Family Memories, and you see the camera pan along the table, and all the footage is gone after that. Everything else,
you don't see him in the table.
You see none of that. It all plays off of Batman's face.
Yes.
For the rest of the sequence.
I could see that. That could work because obviously, that could add an element of like, oh my God, can you imagine what he's watching? Obviously, when it comes to the uncensored, you're seeing Tim just
get tortured.
Getting tortured kind of, and he's just strapped and he's just, yelling out in pain.
Oh, the secrets. As the shocks and serums did their work.
Gosh.
Oh, the secrets he shared.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, and when my favorite line is like, Bruce, after all those, I love it because he says all the Strom and Batarangs, because the phrase in German is Strom and Drang. So he says, so after all the Strom and Batarangs, you're just a little boy in a play suit crying for his mommy and daddy.
Yeah, it's such a great, because the Joker's revealing is like, oh yeah, with all this, Tim has revealed a lot of secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'd laugh if it wasn't so pathetic. I'll laugh anyway. And he starts laughing, and then Batman just is like, smash. And it's just like, what I love is like, he like does the punch, he does like the backhand slap.
Yeah.
It's just like,
he's just like, I'm fucking you up. This is it. This is it. This, you have finally broken Batman to just be like, I don't give a shit about my one rule. there's nothing I can, and he's just unleashed where he just starts fuck. But then of course, Joker, like, gets kind of the edge on him, gets the knife.
Okay,
Okay, of
this
course
is all.
that does, and then he gets stabbed in the leg.
Oh yeah, okay. So here's how the sequence goes, because Batman takes him, throws him out the window, and he just goes like boom, 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 falls down these blocks. He does have blood dripping out of his mouth that gets erased in the censored version.
Yeah.
And of course, Batman like grabs him, smashes him up against the wall. And it's like, I'll break you in two. Yeah. It's like, oh, if you would have, if you had that, you would have done that years ago. And of course, in the uncensored version, the knife shoots out of his sleeve. Mm-hmm. He slashes Batman across the chest and then drives the knife into Batman's leg, which is cool because for continuity, this is why Bruce has a cane.
Ah, there it is, guys. Yeah,
that knife in his leg is the explanation of why he walks with a cane in the future. Because if you pay attention to where he's holding the cane, is the right thing. It's the leg he gets stabbed in his left leg.
There it is.
Okay. Yeah. So in the censored version, one, there's no blood on Joker's mouth. There's no blood on Batman's mouth after he, falls down. But what happens is when he would have done that years ago. I, on the other hand, of course, when he says I, on the other hand, that's when the knife is supposed to slide out of his sleeve and then he slashes him across the chest. Well, they cut right before the knife comes out. He goes across and they animate it to look like he's punching Batman. But the stupid thing is that if you watch the censored sequence, when they cut to Joker in this pose, looking like he punched him, the knife is in his hand. The knife just appeared.
It'll be quick, guys. Yeah.
Right. The knife just appears out of nowhere. And he punches him, and of course, he never actually he never does the thing where he stabs him in the leg. So that whole sequence gets changed up in the censored version.
That's funny, Chase. It's just funny to hear how they try to work around. Just funny, but So, and then of course, when this is all happening, and then like Joker's got like the kind of got the higher ground. We got Joker Tim that shows up, and he just like, he's got the gun that's been established.
Well, because Joker throws it to him.
Yeah, he throws it to Tim, and he's just like, hey, like he wants him, of course, to, hey, you know what to do. And of course, pull the trigger once, flag comes out, bang, and then it's like, gotta pull it, and it's an intense sequence because it's like, what's gonna happen? And then all of a sudden, there's like, and then because even like Batman goes, Tim, like he just like starts trying to like reach out to him.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think and of course there's still a little bit of Tim in there
but he starts laughing.
Yes,
and you're like, oh my god, what's he?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? But then that moment where he moves the gun, to Joker, and then pulls the trigger, and boom,
did they sense? What do they do?
Okay. Yeah. Let's finish describing the uncensored version.
Yeah.
Because once again, this works because that gun has already been established.
Yes.
When Joker kills Bonk with it. Yeah. But okay, so in the uncut version, he starts laughing. He's fighting it. He turns the gun. He fires the trigger. Because what Joker says is deliver. I even wrote down the lines because the lines change. So when he throws the gun to Tim, he says, "Make Daddy proud, deliver the punchline." And then that's when when Tim starts, fighting it, shoots Joker. He goes flying across the effing room, with the bang flag impaled, and he goes, and he even like does the thing where he like looks down at it and goes, "That's not funny," and then dies.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the uncut version. Well, what was the gun established as in the censored version?
It was just like a gas.
It was a gas gun. Okay, so the line gets changed to make him one of us.
Oh.
Tim gets the gun, and in this one they had to completely animate something new because
Yeah.
now, because it's a gas gun, well, if he chooses not to gas Batman, gassing Joker is not going to do anything.
Yeah.
So then what they do is Tim throws the gun aside, runs at Joker, and pushes him.
Oh.
And then there's this room that they suddenly appear in with all of this lab, like Frankenstein lab equipment. And then Tim pushes him into some container that spills water and like he like falls down, breaks some wires, smashes against this tube, and this is how they kind of PG it up. Joker slips on the water himself, and as he's falling down, slaps one of those switches, and then you hear and it cuts to Batgirl outside hearing the electrocution sound. So what they do is they don't make Tim actually kill the Joker. Joker accidentally kills himself.
Gotcha. Wow, that's elaborate. But kudos on them for doing that. But I like the
they have to change dialogue later in the movie too to reflect how Joker actually. But the idea. But once again, because you changed this, you had to change with you had to change Bonk's death because the gun is set up as something completely different. Which is why I love the uncut version, because you see the gun used on Bonk in that early scene. So when he tosses the gun to Tim in the flashback, one, it's creepy that Joker still has that same gun because he's fixated on how he died. But then it also communicates what that gun does. And, I love the parallels of how he uses it to kill Bonk.
I think what also helps too is like when Terry found Bruce, where even though he's under the Joker, gas, he was still able to at least overcome a little bit. So then Tim was able. So it's like it's not like you're fully under the whole there's still the person is still underneath. Where if you just try enough, like that person could still do
break
something.
Through.
Just like Bruce, Bruce broke through and said, underneath the table. Tim was like, nah, no, boom, and shoots the fucking Joker. And I mean, talk about an intense scene. Meanwhile, outside when Batgirl and Harley are fighting, obviously it's raining, it's all fucking crazy, and they fall, and obviously Batgirl does a thing, good grip strength, as always. Grabs on, obviously Harley's grabbed on too. She's trying to pull her up. She pulls up by the sleeve, it rips, she falls. God knows.
Right.
Harley done.
And the concept was supposed to be, so this is what the writer, what the team talked about.
Uh-huh.
Because Harley went along with this plan, basically they were like, she had to die because she was complicit in what Joker did. Like this, like the idea is what they did to Tim was a line that got crossed, and Harley crossed it with him.
Totally.
And so basically they were like, Paul,
fuck her. Oh man.
Yeah.
Good to hear Miss Sorkin's voice though.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But then of course that moment when Batgirl comes back in and Tim goes from that laughing to that crying because he's having a complete mental breakdown.
And then I love it, like when the voiceover from future Barbs, or now Barbs, she starts talking about it. She goes like, we buried the Joker underneath Arkham, and then to get Tim back to normal, name drop.
Yeah, I know. Leslie
Tompkins helped for like a year.
It took a year
to get Tim back to normal. And I was like, oh, that's great, because that makes sense. Why wouldn't they use? Obviously, she's a therapist.
She's a therapist, exactly.
So it's like, why not?
And she's a therapist who knows everything,
everybody who secret identities and shit. So and then she starts talking about that Tim basically he's always tried to be in contact with Bruce, but Bruce was kind of just being Bruce, and
his guilt. He just like nope.
He's all no, I can't. And then Tim was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and he works in
communications. I love, because as much as we've given the animated series crap for taking Tim Drake and basically being Jason Todd with Tim Drake's name, but Tim Drake in the comics was always like a computer genius.
Yes.
So this actually plays into comics Tim Drake, which I appreciate.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's good. And it's like, he started a family, and he's just like, he's out there doing that. So, and he kind of like, Barbara tells him, this is where he's working and everything. And then Terry's just like, well, fuck, I'm gonna go visit Tim Drake.
Because he's the only one. He's involved in this, and like,
so it's like there's something a little weird about this, and it's kind of cool because when they show him, and like obviously he's working on these like satellite things, and it's kind of like it's kind of like a cool little like he's like in this kind of like lift thing that's like hovering or whatever.
Right. It would be like him being in the bucket. It'd be like him being in the bucket of
And then I love it that he has not lost his superhero, like his fucking detective skills, because he's just like, you've been there for a little bit. I know you're there. Because even like, when Terry, he's, obviously
he's in camouflage mode.
Yeah. And he's like, I know you're there. And it's just like, and so they have a little conversation.
I love this comment. I heard you coming from a mile away.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so he still has that in him, even after 40 years or whatever the hell.
Yeah, he says it's been almost 40 years. Which is interesting because in my head, I'm trying to do like the timeline thing.
Yeah.
Because that means that if we're being literal with timeline, that means that the flashback happens 10 years ish before Bruce has that incident where he quits being Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because that scene in Rebirth said 20 years, then we jump ahead into 30 years, which is how we get the Batman Beyond is 50 years after the animated series. So what we're saying is that event with Tim happens 10 years, supposedly 10 years after the animated series, but 10 years before Batman, before Bruce quits.
Yeah.
And so, like, once again, I always love pointing out whenever we get these little details, I always love being able to like figure out the timeline.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So he does that, and then of course he does the disappearing Batman act, and he's like, something's never changed, kind of thing.
Yes, I love that.
But I mean, but Tim kind of just talks about how he's like, being a fucking hero, being in costumes and case, it's just
it's kid stuff.
So he's just, it's a polar opposite from how he was when he was Robin, where we saw him be like, they literally had him do the hero shot, and he always wanted to be like that badass, I'm the hero. We saw that when we were talking about, the New Adventures of Batman. It's like he wanted to be that guy, but then all of a sudden we're seeing like a totally polar opposite of like, that shit was stupid. What are you talking about? And
I love it when Terry's flying back in the Batmobile and he's talking to Barbara. And he's like, "Are all of you this bitter?"
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it's just like, talk to Nightwing. He's got story.
Oh, I know. It's like, yeah. I love that. I love that too. And I love the fact that Ace is like there. He's just like he's in the Batmobile, like So then of course Barbara starts talking about all right, he talks about visiting Jordan Price. Again, Jordan Price, you were totally correct on how they obviously the design and having Mark Hamill do the voice, they were trying to, like I said, the red herring, it just wasn't enough. Because then all of a sudden it's like, if you're watching this, you go, oh yeah, that guy. When all of a sudden
you've forgotten about him.
You've forgotten about him. It's like, oh yeah, is that guy, And then of course we go to like a yacht.
Yacht, yes.
Yeah, that is a Wayne Enterprise yacht. And we have like, him going back to his room. There's a girl on
censored cut strikes again.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm like, yeah, there's no way. I was like, he walks by the room, there's a girl laying on the bed. I'm sure they probably
it is so messy. Like he's already in the room, the lights come on, like basically everything up to the point where the DD like turns the light on,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't get the shot of Amy, tied to the dock.
Yeah.
They were just like cut, like
Cut
they
that.
cut that.
Yeah,
It's
because that was an escort. That was,
or his girlfriend or
maybe.
something,
Yeah.
So it was mature and seductive.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that got cut completely. It is a really messy, it's a messy edit.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Of course, Batman, he crashes through like a window because obviously the two twins, the Dee they show they're the ones that are in there, and Batman frees Price because he got like handcuffed, and
he doesn't really cool. He karate chops through the handcuffs.
It was really cool the way he's doing that, and then all of a sudden we get this new thing where it's like all of a sudden this light just starts showing up around the yacht, and it's like woo, and it's like kind of
and the cool clouds are like creating this
just like open up. It's like
open up, yeah.
And then Batman's just like, oh,
we gotta get out of here.
We gotta get out of here. So he gets him on his back and they fly. And then you see just like this beam just come down, destroys the yacht. And
it causes a tidal wave.
Causes a whole thing where it's just like it's a whole crazy. And then
I remember the shot because this shot was in the trailer.
Yeah. This was like because if you want to sell the movie, it's like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that? Exactly. It was funny in the commentary. They actually made the comment, and because once again, you got to think about this is 2000. The sound editor, the sound mixer for the movie,
it's great.
Mixed this movie in full surround sound because for the first time, this movie was going to, in its initial release, it was going to be on VHS. But it was going to be on DVD. Mm-hmm. So they were actually able to mix this with surround sound.
That's awesome. So I'm sure, it sounds all great.
Oh, it sounded fantastic on my surround sound system this afternoon. Yes.
Sure. And then, of course, Terry, Batman, he brings, because there's cops like on the dock or whatever, and he brings them to him. And obviously before that, when the whole gang was like there, obviously we knew that Mr. Price was working with them a little bit.
But this is when they revealed that they got brought to like the man who brought us together. So Jordan's been working with the Jokers, but he isn't the Joker.
Yeah. So this is where we get that, reveal that. And then it's like, obviously he brings them the cops and he says this, that, and this. And then, you have no proof of that. But Terry's like, I got a recording.
You got a recording.
Yeah. My suit can record, just let you know. So that
really funny. Oh, hey, buddy, really funny thing that the animators did that slipped past like Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and all them because they noticed it during the commentary. Right before Batman flies off, the cop salutes him.
That's great.
And they actually
should, as they should.
Yeah, but it's really funny because they go like, "Wait a minute, that cop's saluting Batman." It's almost like during the commentary they see it.
Yeah, it's so funny. Well, of course, they're going to see things that we don't see,
Exactly.
So awesome. But and then, of course, Terry's just kind of beating himself up when they get back to the Batcave because they're just like, he's just like, I got it, because he's sitting there at the Bat computer and he's like, man, if I was Batman, I should be figuring this out.
Like
God,
Bruce would figure this out.
Yes. So he's beating himself up. They got Ace right there, and he's like talking to Ace. That's who he's talking to. And then all of a sudden, Bruce comes down and he's like, stop it. He's just like, stop it, dude. And then he's like, how do you feel? He's like, I feel like crap. I don't know what he says, but he's still not feeling good. But Bruce is going to be Bruce. And so they're talking. And then all of a sudden, like, Terry just looks over at the costume displays. And he realizes the only costume that's gotten pretty fucked up is the Robin costume.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, wait a minute, why is this the only costume that got like effed up? All the other ones, he
just smashed the cases.
Smashed the cases, but this one got like ripped up.
Right. He gave attention to this costume.
So he's like, and then so he starts thinking about Tim again.
Right.
He's like,
which is funny because they edit this line here because Bruce says, in the original cut, he goes, well, he shot him.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say that in censored cut. So all he says
right.
is he defeated him was the line that they do in the censored cut.
That's hilarious. He defeated. Well, I mean, I guess that works.
Yeah.
But then it's like, yeah. So he starts putting things together, and even Bruce is like, huh? And then he just tells him, suit up.
Well, but what I love though is Terry goes over to the back computer and he's like, okay, we have all these random components.
Mm-hmm.
What would a communications expert do with all these components?
Exactly.
And he starts typing in the computer, and basically he gets the back computer to say, okay, if I was a communications person, it's almost like he had like Gemini or Chat GPT go, what would a communications expert do with all these parts?
Yeah, we got to realize that Batman had AI before everybody else with the back computer. No, but yeah. So he's like, what the hell? But I just love the fact that it's like Bruce is like, after the drama that happened earlier, he's like, suit up, fucking go. And so then we get back to Tim, who's working in his little like
lab
thing, and then of course we see Batman show up. Like obviously it's always that whole shot of like look up and an vent just opens, and he's creeping out, and then when he tries to be like, what the fuck, hologram.
Like,
whoa, oh, watch out, it's a hologram. And then of course screen pops up, it's Joker. And he starts just kind of like,
Mr. Drake is in my employ,
Yeah, it starts taunting him and everything. But then we get like a weird thing at the end of the message, because all of a sudden we see Joker beads of sweat, and he's just like, well, yep, gotta. And he's like, basically got to cut the message short. And you're like,
okay, no, that doesn't happen at this.
That wasn't that part. Sorry,
no,
I got
that's later. That's later. Because what happens is that he basically does the villain thing where he explains his plan.
Of course, yeah.
About
that's right, because all the satellite and the laser shit.
Right, the laser, like he has to explain what the laser is. That the signal jammer is letting him take control of this Hyperion class, defense satellite for that was built to like zap,
Yeah,
it's basically Star Wars.
I mean, but you can also see a James Bond villain doing.
Totally. And so, and then he just basically goes, "Okay, have fun." Because he traps him in this lab, and of course, then there's the cool action sequence where Terry's, he's trying to throw batarangs at the lasers, but the lasers can intercept the batarangs.
Yeah.
So then he does a smart thing where he basically throws the batarang at the central processing unit, and the lasers track it. So when it fires to shoot the batarang, it also destroys like
they're operating,
the control unit,
and
it powers everything down.
Yeah, true.
And then then he jumps into the Batmobile.
Yeah.
But of course, Joker, because of working with a communications expert, hacks into the signal into the Batmobile and starts delivering the messages to him. Okay.
That's where Ace was.
That's where Ace was.
I got too ahead of myself on that one too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, whoop, there we go.
All right. So okay. So here's this cool thing.
Okay.
Well, one, he sees it in the background. I mean, honestly, if Terry's been paying attention to the entire movie, there's been lots of clues for the Jolly Jack candy factory. Like even the vehicle they escaped in when he first showed up at the party. Yeah.
Very noticeable.
Very noticeable. So he looks up Jolly Jack in the computer on the Batmobile, and he finds it. Couple of cool Easter eggs. The candy factory is located on Broome Street. John Broome was the writer who co-created Barry Allen and Hal Jordan.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
And it was closed in 2025.
I saw the 2025 thing. I was like, wow, a year ago. That's crazy.
I know, right? Yes. but no, it was on Broome Street. So I was just like, oh, John Broome. Like, that's a name I just knew. I was like, oh, yeah, John Broome. Okay. So, yeah. So that was a fun thing.
But yeah, this is where we get at the end of the message where he starts like having the beads of sweat, and he's like kind of
no, it's not until after
sure?
I don't know. Is it before the laser starts firing? I thought it was after.
It's when he's in the Batmobile.
It's when he's in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
But remember, the laser is chasing him
Oh yeah, there's a whole sequence.
There's a whole sequence. Okay, so here's the cool thing.
Gotham City gets fucked up.
Yes. Okay. No, but so for an animation guy, this is the cool thing about the sequence. Okay. And once again, something else that I've been hinting at for months now since we've been talking about Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Okay. What is, because we've been talking about, Batman Beyond is so cyberpunk. Okay. So what is a pivotal piece of cyberpunk media, especially if you're talking about animation?
Animation? We talking about you talking about this animation overall?
Animation overall. What's a pivotal animated cyberpunk thing?
Like Akira or something?
Akira. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Akira. Yeah. So in Akira, there's a sequence where the main guy on a motorcycle is being chased by something firing out of the sky.
Okay. So
But here's the cool thing. Mr. Oyamada, who was the storyboard, who was the storyboard artist for the sequence and was the animation supervisor for this sequence, as a young man, was the animator on that sequence in Akira.
That's awesome. Wow.
So the guy who originally animated that exact same sequence, because that's the sequence in Akira where we get the Akira motorcycle slide that always gets
what everybody associates that fucking movie. Yeah.
Right. So that's from that sequence where he's getting chased.
That's crazy.
So the guy who animated that back in the 80s worked as the storyboard artist and because basically so Mr. Oyama read the script and went, I do this. He claimed it when he read the script because he was working at TMS. And he was like, this is mine.
Yeah.
And he's credited as an assistant director on the movie, but he does several sequences, but he literally read the script, saw this, and went, mine. I do this. This is mine.
That's so cool. And it's a crazy, like I said, it's a crazy action sequence. It's a crazy, because, you got Terry who's obviously trying to dodge the laser. And it's just, talk about a creepy, thing to be running from, where it's you got this blue laser that's just going through.
Well, first it's just firing randomly, and then it just becomes a sustained beam.
And then it's just cutting through Gotham City.
Oh yes, it's the censored cut, and the censored cut takes out some of the destruction.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
The main sequence it cuts out is when it goes through that parking lot
with all
the cars.
Yeah, yes, cars and people. Yeah, I can see it. It does that, but it's a pretty intense sequence and everything. So, and then
so it's when this is over and the laser stops. That's when the Joker is getting the beads of sweat. He's like, oh, I guess whatever. I forgot the line he said.
I forgot what he says too, but he's like, but he basically goes I'm done for this. And then of course, when we get Batman crashing, and he crashes the Batmobile, and then they get out, and then he gets out, and then of course, Wolf shows up, and then he's just but then Batman's like, well, I brought my own reinforcements, and then Ace just comes flying out and just attacks him. And I'm like, awesome. I love that Ace got his.
And that's the time I always think about hearing good, bad dog.
Yeah. Because he says that too. Good, bad dog again.
Yes.
And then of course all the rest of the gang starts, freaking.
Yeah. Ghoul tries to, he attacks the DDs. The DD's cool because he uses the camouflage mode.
He does the backhand.
He did the backhand on Gould. He already took out Chucko because Chucko was on the tower. He was the one who shot down the Batmobile.
Yes, he's the one that had the bazooka.
The bazooka. But then, of course, Terry clips it as he's coming down, and that takes out Chucko.
Yeah. So he's doing that, and then and then he walks into the lab. He sees Tim on the ground, like out of it, and then he's like, and then Tim gets up and he starts being like, what the hell happened? This, that, and then she's like, and then he starts slowly, and this is again, cool it's a cool reveal of how all this is happening, because it's a slow build, because you're like, well, wait a minute. Tim, and then yeah, as soon as
Well,
he starts,
because also the suit is like doing
yes,
the biometrics on Tim,
uh-huh.
and Bruce is like, he's not lying. Like,
He's not lying. Yeah, so like, so everything's so intense of like, what the fuck is
and
going
the
on?
music is just like,
Yes. Oh, it's so good. And then when Tim starts remembering that he killed the Joker, and then he just like, and then he grabs one of those the little ball
but
things.
even before he has that great line, it's like,
Yeah.
bad memories churning inside my head,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
memories churning inside my head like bad oysters. Like, what a
Yeah.
line. And
And then he grabs that little ball thing, and then
ball.
he starts
But then there's that moment, you like see
yeah,
that moment where like Joker finally like
it started
takes
to click back
over.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he throws it at Terry.
Because he calls him bat fake,
Yeah, back take, yeah, again. So and then it's like, oh shit. And then of course, this is where he starts talking about how basically it's like when Joker had Tim, they had this whole thing where it's like we had the whole chip thing, and then the whole genetics, and like him like basically uploading himself into that whole thing and matching the whole thing. And
Yeah, but before he explains
yeah,
that
yeah,
though, I just love the buildup where he's like, Bruce, I'm sure you have your errand boy wired somehow.
yeah,
Because I
because
don't
he
want
knows.
you to miss any of this.
Oh,
And then the transformation sequence happens. But the cool thing is that it's a no, it's a it's like an old school Dr. Jekyll, Mr.
oh,
Hyde,
totally.
where it just like fades, like there's no like bone crunching, this or that. He
Yeah,
just like transitions from one
yeah. It's
to
not
the
like
other.
Man Bat. It's like, oh, it's in me.
Yeah.
It's similar, but but it's got like its own little take on that whole
Right.
thing.
But once again, it's not a violent,
No,
it's not that violent like
because
bone
even when he
cracking.
ends up turning back into the Joker, it's like it's not like he's like or something like that. It's just kind of but it's like but it's like something that was like, oh wow, so that's how they did it. It's like it's the fact that when that happened, he did this, and then they needed certain thing. Okay, so it was all kind of making sense when it comes to the whole story.
Well, but they also love the fact that this movie, of course, once again goes the joke, and the only other time that someone has acknowledged that Joker is the smartest, I think about that Jack Napier file in Batman '89 when when Alfred gives him the file and he's like, oh, he was a prodigy in like music, art, and chemistry. Like the idea is that no, Joker really is fucking smart.
He's a very smart dude. Like no matter what iteration of the Joker, it's like, yeah, you think he's like crazy. I mean, but at the same time, it's like, no, he's super fucking smart,
Right. And so he's like, I stole all this genetic technology.
Yeah.
And no, the cool thing is I hinted at this at the beginning of the movie, but retroactively, once we get into the later part of the animated universe, they kind of sort of establish in a way that this is Cadmus technology.
Oh, yes, that makes sense. Of course it does. What the fuck? I didn't even think about that. Duh.
Yeah, this is Cadmus tech.
Oh, wow. I did not even think about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And of course, that is complete retcon. It comes later.
But it makes so much sense.
Yeah, but this is Cadmus tech.
Oh,
and
that's great. Wow.
But the idea that Joker explains that while he was torturing Tim, he installed this microchip as like his ultimate, in game.
Yes.
To reference another Joker story, once again, Scott Snyder. The idea that he prepared for something to go wrong, so he programmed a backup of himself into Tim. Now, of course, he does the supervillain thing. That's like, let me point out where
it's at. It's like right here on the back.
Right here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's like but it's like one of those like, oh, okay, so that, and then of course and then he has a great line too. Any last words? Good old Bat. He calls him Bat Fart. Did you know that? Did you see?
No, well, because he's talking to Bruce.
Yeah, he's talking about Bruce. Yeah, like an old fart, like old Bat Fart. Yeah,
like old Bat Fart.
Yeah,
and I love Terry goes, yeah, sick him.
yeah, and then of course we get. Ace attacks.
Oh, but there's a whole, but he goes to that whole like villain
Yeah.
monologue about
yeah,
how
of course.
I'm going to use the laser. I'm going to kill Bruce. I'm going to kill Dana.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna-
see the map. We
the
see the map
map.
where it's like he says like Wayne Manor's his mom's house,
house, hospital.
and then it does this where it makes
It does
a smiley face. Of course,
but
always got to be a smiley face.
But I love the line, especially the way Mark Hamill delivers it. He says, "I always feel like the hero has to have a defining moment of tragedy in his life."
Yeah. And then, of course, with everything that happens, Batman like trying to stop all stuff, and then it fucks everything up. Where it's like, then it's just like, oh, the laser's headed this way.
Oh, you're skipping over some great stuff.
Oh, what am I skipping over? I'm totally skipping. What am I skipping?
You're skipping some great stuff. Okay, because first, Terry, because Terry's a sickum. Ace comes in, messes up Joker, comes back over, gets the jamming device off of Terry so he can start using the suit again.
Yeah.
But Ace goes back to get Terry, and then that's when Joker pulls out the joy buzzer, electrocutes Ace, and so but then that's when Terry's like, this is what I don't remember. Okay, so
I know.
Remember,
like,
do they have the fight where? No, he before they do that, I think that's when he's ready and he runs back, because that's when he goes and like shuts the door, breaks off the handle, and is like, "Let's dance, bozo."
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then of course,
because he does, because he gets to do that first. They start to have that fight before he loses the joy buzzer. Because here's the thing. This is the secret. This almost like needs to be the clip, because it's like, this is where
we'll get to let's get to this clip right here,
because this is where it just becomes a lot of them fighting, but them also him using a lot of like psycho, like he starts talking Joker. Because I love that scene where Bruce is like, just bust on through, and Terry's like, but I like to talk.
Yeah, we'll join it right here. So right here.
That right there. Yeah, he gets off the disruptor.
Right. Yeah. Good on Ace.
Okay. There's joy buzzer.
Yeah, and that's where he hits that. Yes.
God, look how beautiful this animation looks. Oh, the colors pop.
Yeah.
Okay. He does.
There it is.
Yeah, he does lose it right there. Okay. I couldn't remember when he lost. No.
And that's where it. Yeah. Now the laser's going to be headed towards. Oh God!
Look at those TMS explosions. Yeah. That was another thing they pointed out in the commentary.
Oh, good. The beam's headed here.
Yeah, you were right about this, about how the sequence plays out. Yeah.
Thanks for wrecking everything, kid.
I love it. And Joker's just like, I'm going to leave now.
He's like, I'm done.
Why?
So Joker.
Junior. Game's over.
I'm taking you in.
Right.
But then this is kind of cool right here too, where it's like he's gotten this knowledge how to fight.
You're out of your league.
League McGinnis.
I know
everything the original Batman and Robin knew at their peak.
Maybe. But you don't know a thing about me.
About me.
Exactly.
You? What's to know?
No.
You're a punk. A rank amateur. A costumed errand boy taking orders from a senile old man. Still,
if it's a woman, you're a woman. Yeah, I can quote this entire freaking movie. Like,
you can tell.
Better to run and save yourself.
But this is what's great. It's like this.
I love this thing where it's smashing.
Yeah.
Let's dance, bozo.
Yeah. But so it's like, like obviously after doing all this.
Of course, we don't want to watch too much of the clip because we don't want to get copyright smashed by YouTube. But
hopefully not. Let's see what happens.
He's tough. Any suggestions, boss?
Joker's vain and likes to talk. He'll try to distract you, but don't listen. Block it out and power on through.
Wait.
I like to talk.
See, that's the thing. When Terry starts putting together that Joker,
the real Batman,
his obsession.
He breaks his arm, twists his shoulder out.
But he starts realizing his obsession with Batman.
Can't say the
Or
same for you.
with Bruce.
And then I love it.
Yes.
Who you think you're talking to? Not a comedian, I'll tell you that.
Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth! Fucking with him.
The real Batman never talked to you much, did he?
See? So he
That's
starts
probably why you
realizing
were so
his
fixated on
obsession with Bruce.
Don't play psychoanalyst with me, boy.
Oh, I don't need a degree to
At this
figure
moment
you
right
out.
here, he knocks out the light. So then there's like this
The real
impending
reason you kept
doom
coming back
of
is
the
you never got
laser
a laugh
coming
out of
towards
the old
them.
man.
Huh?
I'm not hearing this.
Get a clue, Clowny. He's got no sense,
No sense of humor.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
know a good joke if it bit him in the cape.
Bit him in the
Not that you
cape.
ever had a good joke.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh.
I mean, joy buzzers, squirting flowers,
Yeah.
lame. Where's the A
Hey,
material?
material.
Make a face,
Face.
drop your
Drop your
pants,
pants.
something.
Show yourself.
You make me laugh,
Half.
but only because I
'Cause
think
you're so
kind
pathetic.
Of pathetic.
And he starts laughing like
It just laughing at him.
because Bruce would never do that.
So you fell in
Fell
a
in
tank
vat of acid, got your skin
bleached,
bleached,
then
and decided to become a supervillain.
What?
You couldn't get a job as a rodeo clown?
Yes. Don't you dare laugh at me.
Oh, we'll start it right here.
I thought the
Oh,
Joker
you always want to make Batman laugh. You're not Batman! Oh, we need to pause it here. I don't want YouTube to get us, but because I love that moment where Joker finally loses his shit because it's like, you're not Batman.
Not Batman. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh man. I know. It's like, yeah.
And there's so much good stuff.
Yeah,
Well, but what happens though is that because right after that part where he throws the grenade, Terry gets knocked down,
Yeah.
and then Joker takes that table and smashes it on top of him, rips off the cowl, and then he gets to use those strangler fingers and starts choking him out because once he's taunting him about once again how you're not the real Batman.
Yeah.
Stop it. Like it is frustrating Joker so much that it's like, you're a kid. You're not the real Batman. Why do I have to deal with you?
Mm-hmm.
And then I always like that. Any last words, McGinnis? And then I love it how Terry goes, ha, ha. And then because he's got the joy buzzer and then he smashes it right on the microchip.
Right there. And then you see they zero in on the microchip and it just and you do that whole little
And the cool thing is that as he's like doing this, there's like split second, like 2 to 3 frames, they cut Tim's face in underneath Joker's face as he's like transitioning back into Tim.
Yeah. So cool.
It's so cool. But I just love that. Any last words, McGinnis?
And then of course the laser does end up showing up.
Yeah. Oh, cool metaphorical thing that they do animation wise that that I didn't get to mention. But when Joker is typing into the thing right before the whole Sick'em sequence, and he activates the signal jammer, there's been that clown head inside, and it like lifts up, and it like crashes through the roof so he can turn on the satellite. But it's a metaphor because it's a Joker head that smashes through a kid's head on the roof. So it's like a metaphor for what he did to Tim.
That's wow. Did not even think about that. That's
cool. This movie gets deep if you think about it.
Deeper, yeah. They had some layers in this when it comes to all that. But yeah, of course, Terry gets Tim and gets him out of there and destroys the Jolly Jack. What is it? Jolly Jack?
Jolly Jack Candy Factory. Yeah. Now, a little hint about a deleted sequence. Did you notice that when the factory blows up, the cops are all standing outside?
Yeah. What happened there?
There's supposed to be a sequence where they show up and arrest the Jokers.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You got to remember, they've been all knocked out. Like, so how did they not die when the factory decided to like
blow up?
It's because the cops, there's supposed to be a sequence where the cops all show up because like Terry would have told Barbara where he was going. And so the cops all converged. There was a cut sequence where the cops all converge on the candy factory and actually arrest the Jokers. And so there's there when the laser comes and actually destroys the candy factory.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And then, of course, like the next sequence that we get to is like, oh, yeah, because, and that makes sense because we got the DD who are in, that are like, oh yeah, we got somebody that posted bail.
Your grandmother posted bail.
Yeah, your grandma posted bail, and of course, I'll just show the shot, and it's just kind of funny because, and then you recognize that voice a little bit. Yeah, Harley Quinn.
I hope they throw the book at you. Whatever, Nana Harley.
Yep. They just right at the end before they cut to the next.
Hey, this
scene.
was Paul. This was Paul Dini.
Of
He
course.
refused to let Harley die, and it was so funny because when they were trying to cut the 14 minutes out of this movie, Alan Burnett was like, "Cut that fucking sequence." like they didn't want that sequence there because they didn't want Harley to survive.
Yeah. It's like, no, it's kind of cool. I don't know. I
like it, but
I'm totally glad they
was
did.
like, I'm not cutting it. We're not cutting the sequence.
Yeah. So then we get to Tim waking up, and he's in a hospital bed, and we got Barbara there, and of course she's just like, they're having like their own like, hey, this is cool, and then Terry shows up.
I like what Barbara says. Like, no, you've met him earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, like you got to remember. Tim doesn't know who Terry is.
Yeah, because at first he's like, hey, I'm Terry. I'm like, and then it's like, oh, you met him early, and he goes, oh, yeah, well, if Bruce trusts you with the man, and all of a sudden it's just like you put it together pretty instantly. It's like, oh, okay, you're the guy. So you're the guy. And then it's cool, and then so that's all happening, and then Terry walks out, and then Bruce walking up the hall, and it's just like, oh shit. We're going to have like a nice little reunion between Tim and Bruce after all these years. Of course, we don't really see it, but
still that moment's like, hey, hello, Tim. Hello, old man.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. And then, of course, we get the whole, all right, we got to get the Terry McGinnis Batman hero shot looking over the
such a Batman ending,
Oh yeah, put on the mask, look over the city,
fly off into the city while the guitar is totally playing the Batman the Animated Series theme.
Yeah,
down.
So good. What are you doing here, Amazon? Relax. But so there you go. We got through it. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. Yes. Hopefully, guys, everybody listening.
Any interesting comments that came up? Like, I'm just kind of curious. Like, for a wrap up for this, it's just like,
I mean, like there was like stuff like, hey, Dave, hey Scott, given how powerful Bruce Wayne is in Gotham, do you guys think he may have erased the majority of the?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what we kind of already talked about.
Yeah,
he totally did that. The first time watching this film, I was shocked on how the Joker died. When I watched the uncut version, I asked myself, how did they even get that approved?
I mean, seriously, no. Once again, though, I think there's a part that has to deal with the fact that it was a direct to video, so you have a little bit more liberty with that. And then once again, when the uncut version was released, I mean, it clearly says PG-13. But yeah, it's shocking. Of course, that's funny considering the censored version of how he died. But it was shocking to watch him just get impaled with that like bang flag thing. Like I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. And then we got Mr. Venom said one more last thing. He said Terry psychoanalyzing and mocking the Joker. That is so good.
It's so
because
good.
He realized, like I said, I'm with you on that.
He smack talks Joker. Like
he basically goes like, oh, wait a minute. Batman didn't talk. Batman didn't laugh. Your obsession with him, you always wanted to make him do that. So then he was like, oh, well, I'm going to return that against you and drive you fucking crazy. And that's what he did.
Because once again, what he does is what Joker's been doing to them throughout the entire movie.
Exactly.
He flips the game on him, especially with how Joker just cannot accept.
He can't handle it.
He can't handle it. But he also, because he's been calling him like bat fake the whole movie.
Yeah.
He can't accept Terry.
Like, you're not the real Batman.
You're not the real Batman.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so cool. But yeah, that's it's a great Batman story. They did such a good job when it comes to how they bring the Joker back. I mean, obviously the red herring part probably could have been fleshed out a little bit more.
But they didn't have the time. They literally
didn't have the time. They didn't have the time, which is totally understandable. We talk about it all the time. They just never enough time when it comes to all that. But
once again, they wanted the time.
They tried.
But they literally were not given, like, because once again, the budget
Yeah.
The budget literally stated how many minutes the movie got to be.
Yeah. No, but it still works. It doesn't hurt the movie at all. So yeah, I mean, is it better than Phantasm? No, not in my opinion. But is it better than the Mr. Freeze one? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely better than that one. Even though no shade on that one. Still a good movie, But no, this was a lot of fun hearing the differences between the cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like, just breaking a lot of the stuff down and not realizing certain songs. And, that's what's good about these, discussing this kind of stuff is like.
Also why I miss having DVD commentaries.
I know, right?
Where they can just like tell you all this stuff.
Yeah, they got to bring more of that back. I know. We don't really have those anymore, huh?
No, we don't. It's really freaking annoying.
I know. I used to love listening to DVD commentaries. So fun, so much fun, especially when there's one thing when it's like a director just doing it. Yeah, it's fun, but I like it when there's like the cast is involved,
Yeah, no cast on this one, but but
when you have like multiple, I mean, it's not
you
just
have all the creatives involved.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Glenn Murakami, and Kurt Gaeta. I mean,
when it's a group, better. But if it's just like the director by itself going, oh yeah, so this shot, it's like, it's fine, but at the same time, I like it when there's a group.
Yes.
It's better when that happens. And anytime that I've listened to commentaries, I always like, sometimes they used to have it where it would just be a director's commentary, and then there'd be like a cast commentary, a director and cast commentary. So they would all shoot the shit and stuff like that. And those were always fun to listen to. Yeah, they got to bring that shit back. You'd think they would do that with like in the podcast kind of sense, like, hey, kind of like when you're listening to the Katie Sackhoff stuff when she's commentating on her episodes of that series.
Battlestar Galactica,
yeah, exactly. So it's like that stuff's kind of cool, and I think she realizes that it's like, yeah, that stuff is pretty cool, and it's especially when people revisit things too. It's got to be pretty cool. I mean, it would be kind of cool if like Will Friedle, yeah. He like revisited some of this stuff too, where it's like he did some commentary of like, talking about it, even if it was with like Paul Dini or whatever the hell, and those guys, Bruce Timm, it would be kind of cool, but I don't think that will ever happen. But hey,
yeah, I'm actually taking the time now because I never look at the comments like during the stream, but it's really like I love the back and forth that people were having in the comment in the comment section. It was great, but you can also see a point where everyone like stopped commenting because I feel like they just decided to like.
They're just listening, or they're listening.
Like,
all right. Now we're getting to because at the beginning it's like we were just like leading up to it. People are just going like, oh yeah, this and this and that and this, and so yeah. I even said like, hey, David Scott. Deleted scene. It's so we can actually find it online.
Yeah, you can find it online, but once again, because it was also a special feature on the DVDs.
Yeah.
Like it was so
of course they're gonna put it online. Yeah,
exactly. So
pretty sweet. So there you go, guys. There is Return of the Joker. Good stuff.
And the fact that we're past 2.5 hours. This is why we do movies on Saturday nights.
Exactly. That's why we didn't want to do it on a Wednesday. Because So this has been fun, of course. When it comes to this Wednesday, what do we got?
It is, it's Sons of the Fathers, which is the next episode of Static Shock we need to watch.
So we're back to Dakota
and like I said, we're actually going to go on I hate to spoil this for people, but we're going to go on about we're going to go on about a 3-week run of Static Shock, and then we're actually going to jump into the Zeta Project.
There you go. So we're now. So this is why it works out for the continuity of things, because we were wondering at first we were going to probably do this 2 weeks from now because next weekend I'm not going to be around. So it actually worked out this weekend that we got this taken care of because there's not going to be Batman Beyond for a while
actually.
Yeah. So So it actually worked out that this ended up happening. So hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Yes,
It's been
and I
fun.
hope I did appreciate someone acknowledging that I know.
Oh, yeah.
It's who was it? Was it Clone Avenger that was just
No, I think
like
it was Clone
it
Avenger or
was like, dude,
somebody.
Scott
But,
knows so much shit. It's like, yeah, that's
well, of
why I'm
course,
here.
that's why. Yeah. He said right here, Scott's ball knowledge. Ball knowledge.
Oh, probably like I'm a baller, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's why this dynamic works. He's the knowledgeable one.
It's why I was asked to be the co-host because everyone,
Exactly. I'm the one that makes the jokes
and I'm the one
says
who
the
knows all the
appropriate
crazy
things.
crap.
So there you go. And this is why I try to guess the voice acting and do my best.
I knew with the opening title sequence, it was like, oh,
There was no way. It was like, oh
fun.
yeah, they're all right there. So that's kind of cheating. So we couldn't do that when it came to this time. But still, yeah.
I did, however, love the fact that you picked up on the fact that Rosenbaum was doing a walk-in.
Yeah, I know. But it wasn't until the third act where I was like, wait, man, he's really fucking doing a walking kind of. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I absolutely love that. So there you go, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Everybody who's out there still watching or even listening after. So hopefully you guys had a good time with it. Like I said, we'll be back in Dakota City when it comes to Wednesday, normal DC Fan-imated time. Watch last night's vodka stream. We had a lot of fun there too. Scott was part of that. We had a lot of fun covering.
I was here for the whole thing last
night. The whole
night.
thing. And it was a lot of fun. We reacted to trailers, we reacted to the X-Men
casting announcements,
all the and just all the everything that they showed. We were like reacting to all of it. And it was really a lot of fun. So make sure you guys check that out too. Of course, I've clipped things out for their own videos and clips and everything like that. But go ahead, Scott, if you got something to promote, other thing to promote.
Well, like I said, just make sure you follow me on X at ScottDC227, Vero at Scott McClellan, Letterbox at Scott McClellan, ScottDC27. Check out my reviews for the Rivals of Mziah King and The End of Oak Street. I've got an Twitter X thread of all the figures I currently have up for sale on eBay. And then make sure you join us on Wednesday where we keep this DC Fan-imated stream train going as we, like I said, we got about a month of Static Shock, and then we just jump into another show because why the hell not?
Why the hell not? So. And yeah, guys, hit that like, thumbs up. Check out everything Film Junkie Live on Monday, and there'll be some recaps and whatever the hell else is happening. Well, yeah, we got Lanterns tomorrow too.
We got Lanterns tomorrow night. Yes,
first episode. So I'll be posting a quick reaction for the first episode, naturally. But then, of course, I'll do like a full review on the stream on Monday. So very much looking forward to it because I'm hearing mainly nothing but good things about it. So cannot wait. And so yeah, look forward to that, and hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe. This has been Return of the Joker Talk with us right here. And we love you, and we will talk to you later.